Hope we don't have any.
We are live.
We are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to part 2. We couldn't get it all done in the first go around. I think we were live for, 2.5 hours maybe. And we didn't even get through half of Jeff's questions. So we asked you guys and you said you wanted to have a part 2. So here we are for part 2. Welcome back, CJ.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm excited. I love this.
Yeah. And
So-
CJ joined me last night for Tasty Tuesday, which was so much fun.
What I thought was funny. It was supposed to be just a quick in and out, and then I ended up just hanging out for the whole time.
I know you stayed the whole time. It was really fun. It took the pressure off me. You know, I think I'm just going to say this before I bring Jeff on to start the introductions. I don't know how you feel, CJ, about doing lives, but they wear me out more than the produced. More than the videos.
Right.
Like I find that I am just so exhausted afterwards, whether it's a Q&A, whether it's cooking, it doesn't really make any difference. So I was so thankful for you last night because it made it easy. I didn't have to think. Like you basically spoon fed me the recipe and it was just so easy and it tasted amazing. So we're still looking for the cheese though. We couldn't find it today, but we're gonna find that tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm planning on making it this weekend, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's delicious. For those of you that didn't see Tasty Tuesday last night, I'm CJ, you say it because I don't pronounce it correctly.
We made birria.
There we go.
Birria. I don't know. There's so many different words.
So there, we made tacos with it.
The
So
link
it's like
is in the comments if somebody wants to watch that.
It's a shredded beef. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. And then Jeff, after our live the first time, Jeff made me a Mississippi pot roast, like po' boy. So, a sub basically. And he made another one today. They're so good. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited. All right, well, let me say hi to some people and then we'll turn it over to Jeff. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Daddy Dutch. Good to see you. Hey, John, how are you? Hi, Brian. How are you doing? Hi, Annie. Hi, Ellen. Good evening. Hi, Juliet. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Larson. Hi, Jolene. How are you? Hi, Cynthia. My computer's slow. Hi, Norma. Hi, Jacqueline. Cooking with Kurt. Hi, Sylvia, Lucy, Ursula, Kenna's Kitchen. How are you? Let's see. Daddy just says, "At the salt and pepper, will you introduce us to the CJ chick?"
Hi, Dutch. How you doing?
So funny.
Chick.
Hey, Rena, how are you? Hi, Lizards Travel. All right, let's keep going. Just hi, Robin. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Robert. Hi, Alaska Pork Chop. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed the peppermint patties. Hey, Colleen. Hi, Donna. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Penny. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Charlene. Howdy from Texas. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. Let's see. Annie, don't you worry. If you ask a question that we answered last time, it's no big deal. We'll answer it again. No big deal. Let's see. Jolene says, how are you and the babies? We are good. We are good. The dogs are kind of resting right now, so we're good to go. Yes, Donna, you have to join CJ's channel. So Colleen has a question already for CJ. So CJ, what are you drinking?
I am drinking that the Jolly Rancher thing I was drinking on Monday.
Yeah.
I still had all the fixes right here. I was like, all right, well, grab some ice. And I've actually been working all day. So when I jumped on, I had just shut it down.
Yeah.
So I put my lights up, turned on the pineapple, and here we are. So
turn on the pineapple. All right. Well, let's bring in Jeff. He's going to do the interview tonight, and hopefully we get through all the questions. And I think we found a few more bloopers. So yeah, making fun of me. It's make fun of me time. Right.
All right, I'm gonna post. Don't anybody bail on us, but I'm gonna share the link from last night. So maybe copy this and save it in another window or something to watch it later. But this is last night's live.
Oh, like don't bail and go watch that one.
Sorry, not last night's. Last night's is earlier, but this is Monday night's part 1.
Okay.
Because you might want to catch some questions. And I may repeat some questions because I may have forgotten that we asked them or, covered them somehow.
So, Jeff, why would you have forgotten?
Because it was 2 days ago.
Oh, didn't have anything to do with the beer.
No, not at all. All right, so yeah, I'll ask this to both of you, but we'll go ahead and start with CJ. If you could specialize in one type of cooking, or if you had to specialize in one type of cooking for your channel, what would you pick?
Whoa, that's a good one. I don't know.
That's hard.
I feel like my first thought is like barbecue because I love barbecue, but Italian cooking probably.
Really?
Yeah, my grandmother's from Sicily, so I grew up with a little short Italian grandma.
I'd love to see those recipes.
She was a bulldog and she ran the show for sure. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. What I loved about her was I have brothers that are bigger than me, and we all played football growing up, all that stuff. And we'd go over there and she'd like yell at us for not eating seconds and thirds and keep eating, whatever. And then she'd complain about us being fat. We're like, someone asked what CJ stands for. It's Charles Justin. Okay. So my grandmother was the only one that could get away with calling me Charlie without getting punched in the face. So she'd be like, Charlie, you put on a little too much weight. And what's funny is everybody knows me as Justin. Like when you guys come out here and all my friends and family come over, it's just Justin. It's YouTube and the cooking stuff is CJ, right? So what I always thought was funny is she called me Charlie. How's it going, Charlie? And I freaking hate that. But you can't punch grandma in the face. So.
No, we can't do that.
All right, Louise, do you want to answer that question then? What if you could only cook one type of food? It could be a cuisine or a technique or something. You said it was hard, didn't you?
It is very hard. I'm going to say bread. I mean, I'm a toss-up between candy and bread. So baking. I mean, if I could go a little broader, I would do all things baking.
After today, I'd say let's leave the candy alone for a while.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, that's so good though. Yeah, I would have to say bread. And the reason why is because there's so much you can do with bread. I mean, there's so many different things. Like you could do so many recipes with the sourdough starter excess, the stuff that we don't want to throw away, but kind of have to, it's called the discard. There's so many recipes you can do with that. There's so many different hydrations of bread. So many different things you can put in them. You can make them sweet. You can make them savory. I mean, I would do bread. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start with Louise on this one, and then we'll go to CJ.
I'm going to answer some questions after
you. Yeah, go ahead. And there's actually one that was relevant was, do either of you cook Asian food?
CJ, how do you pronounce that word on the screen?
I pronounce it gnocchi.
Gnocchi, that's what I do.
My wife, who's not Italian, pronounces it gnocchi, and it drives me up a freaking wall. So the way I always pronounce it is gnocchi.
Gnocchi. That's me too.
Knowkee, not gnocchi. That just drives me up a wall.
I've heard a lot of people say gnocchi. Like
gnocchi. It's gnocchi.
Gnocchi. Yeah, that's what I say too. Pamela, question. When you're testing recipes, do you eat your not so perfect foods? CJ.
No. I mean, in all honesty, if it doesn't, if it's not appetizing or worthy of it, we'll probably just throw it out. Or I saw someone say that when you call Charlie, she's calling her dog. Well, we have a little dog named Charlie also, so he gets, that is the best well-fed dog. Like that dog eats Wagyu and has the biggest tomahawk bones. And he's just a little pug Frenchie thing, and you'll see him walking out there with a bone that's like bigger than him, and yeah, he's eating well for sure.
The answer for me is if it depends. I mean, if it tastes bad, no, it goes in the trash.
Right.
Usually what I'll try to do though, if it didn't turn out to be the recipe that I had envisioned, I will do something else to it. So, like if the meat didn't cook exactly the way I want, well, it can become a soup, I mean,
Right.
so I'll try to use it up in a different way. But if it tastes terrible, no. And if it's, burnt and yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. But
yeah, you don't want to, waste time with that for sure.
no. But when possible, I'll try to turn it into something else.
Kenna's Kitchen on there. She's awesome, by the way. She has a husband like Jeff who puts, loves all the toys, puts a great production value in there, and
That's awesome.
she does some great stuff on her channel. But she asked what overhead lighting we use. We could touch on it quickly, but in the first video we went through our whole setups. Mine is very simple. Theirs is very not. But you check it out. But my overhead lighting is just daylight lighting cans, and then I have
can lights, puck
I
light
have
thing,
can
good
lights
can
that
lights,
have the bright
Mine
lights.
is right behind my head.
Yeah.
It's a huge dome light is overhead. That's over top of me when I'm in the kitchen. So it just gives this nice coverage of light. So I really like that. And somebody also asked, just to go back to that question about what we cook. Do either of us cook Asian food? I love Asian food, all kinds. I do cook it. I don't know how authentic I cook it, but I do cook it. I love it. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I do. But I do like the simple stuff like stir fries and fried rice, stuff that I can put on the grill, or sorry, the griddle, stuff I can put on the griddle and use it. And I'll mix it up in there. I'm actually, I got a video that I'm going to shoot tomorrow or Friday, and it's going to be a fried rice omelet onto the griddle.
Interesting.
So we were in Kauai earlier this summer, and it's one of the things I had in Hawaii, and it was an omelet wrapped around fried rice, and then they put that brown gravy that they put on their loco moco and all that stuff, and it was just magical. So I'm gonna give that one a shot on the griddle.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Do another question.
Okay, no, I was just looking through. Okay. All right, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, CJ. There's a lot that you have to learn in order to be a YouTube creator, and to do the shooting, the editing, the cooking, everything that goes into it. What skill set or skill sets did you get from your previous careers or other life experiences that you found the most valuable in this endeavor?
Talking. I grew up. I moved around a lot as a kid, right? So I was a pretty shy kid, very quiet, right? And then I went to 8 elementary schools, 4 junior highs. I moved around quite a bit with my pops. So it was it taught me to kind of come out of my shell a little bit, right? And then when I got into the corporate world, I was able to kind of grow with that, and then I could get in front of auditoriums of people, go to sales rallies, whatever, and get up there and speak and have no problem kind of putting out what I wanted to put out, right? When I was growing up, my dad would always smack me and say, enunciate, kid, like I can't understand you, you're mumbling, whatever. So over the years, I've got to the point where I enunciate and I could share my thoughts relatively easy. There's some ums and ahs when I'm explaining stuff, but for the most part, I try to keep that out of it. And so my work life is kind of translated that way when I'm explaining it, because I've had to explain, why my team does X, Y, and Z to a room full of salespeople, right? So, that's kind of where I go with it.
All right. Sorry, I'm just I'm going to share the link to CJ's channel because somebody asked about.
Right on. Thank you.
There you go. All right, so I could probably answer this for Louise, but I'll go ahead and
You
give you the
think?
same one. What
Whoa.
skills or experience?
Okay. Okay. All right. Now we're on the dating game.
Yeah.
So you think you can answer it for me, husband? I'm going to walk out of the room, close my ears. I'm going to pour that wine because it is time.
It's wine time.
And you answer that question
All
for
right.
me, and I won't know what it
Good.
is.
You could let the dogs in while you're doing
Okay.
that.
And I'm going to close my ears, and I'm serious because I want to know what you said because I know exactly what I'm going to say.
Okay. All right,
Then how many points do we get if we win? If we get it right?
75 points, and the points don't matter.
Okay.
All right, so she's still got her ears plugged, and I'm going to speak up because I'm using her computer, which is next to me for the audio. But I'm going to say it's her teaching experience. She used to teach as a nurse. She used to teach all of her caregivers everything that they needed to know. There's a lot of classes that were involved in certifying them. And I think that's probably the most important thing because she teaches as she cooks, and I think she does a really good job. And I'm not
Are you
much of
done
a talker.
answering?
I am, so you can come in.
So I can unplug my
You
ears.
can unplug your ears. And while I'm up on the screen and she's not here, my greatest thing my experience is that I brought is video production.
Yeah.
That's what I still do. So that was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, totally. That's, I mean, oh my gosh, without Jeff, I wouldn't be here. There's no doubt. I mean, yeah, I can cook. But without him, like, I just want to back up because I want to say something because I think it's underestimated. When you go online to be an online creator, whether or not, whatever genre it's in, it really doesn't matter. Especially if you have a website and a YouTube channel, but even if you just have a YouTube channel, I mean, there's so many hats you have to wear. So all of a sudden you have to understand lighting, understand photography, understand people, you have to understand your audience. You have to understand SEO, which is search engine optimization. You have to understand what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot say. You have to understand that if you are promoting a product, there's certain rules for the, what is it? FCC? FCC. Okay. I mean, there's so many things, like you have to wear so many hats.
For promoting product, it's FTC.
FTC. Oh, Federal
FTC,
Trade
sorry.
Commission.
So real quick on that, like the way we kind of get around that is in my descriptions, I put this video contains affiliate links, blah, blah, blah. So I cut and paste that on every one of the videos. That way it keeps us out of trouble. Not that I really think anybody's just like checking random YouTube channels for that, but we do have to stay in compliance.
I always do that. If I post any links that will be in any way, shape, or form earn me money, they're disclosed.
Right.
And if you do what's called a sponsored video, which I don't do, but if you do a sponsored video, I sort of did one for Grill Great indirect, like just in exchange for product. Which this is kind of a gray area, but I disclosed it. There's a button you hit for YouTube, and I disclosed it. So
it says it up in the corner,
like a little paid. This is a paid promotion, which really, to me, that's kind of unfair because really, it isn't a paid promotion. They didn't pay me to do it.
Right.
I haven't done any sponsored work, so I don't get paid to do it. I just don't. I don't know. Now the question. Now that you guys know what my husband said, I would say the biggest skill that I brought to doing YouTube channel and doing my website and things like that and the Facebook groups is teaching.
Good job. You got 75.
You got it right.
I got 75 points that don't matter.
Okay, that don't matter. Okay. Yeah, teaching, because I owned a business where I had about 20 employees, most of which were nursing assistants, some were nurses. I was a nurse for a really long time, and I did a lot of training. I would actually go to other assisted livings and train their staff on medication administration. And I loved it. My mom's a teacher. My sister was she isn't anymore, but my mom was a teacher. My sister was a teacher. It's kind of like in our blood, but I went the nursing route. but you're teaching patients all the time. You're teaching families, you're teaching, caregivers, you're always teaching. So that I brought that with me. And I think it's really, really helped quite a bit. So, okay.
You want to take a couple out of there and I'll find my next question, see if anything.
So, Louise, we were talking about people that, when we're live on the 30th, all day long,
Yeah.
people going to be jumping on. Kenna's Kitchen is going to come on for a little bit. So I want to chat with her. Like I said, I love what they do over there. Her and her husband, Travis, they do some great stuff.
Cool.
They're good people, right? We're not going to bring bad people on, of course.
No.
Daddy Dutch Barbecue. You got to watch out for that guy, but we're going to get him.
Yeah, we know Ken. Yeah.
So, we're going to have a lot of creators on during the day, and there'll be plenty of people coming in and out during the day. So, I'll make sure you tune in on the 30th.
Yeah, the 30th. So that's going to be fun. Now, that's going to be on CJ's channel. So make sure if you're not subscribed, go there and subscribe to his channel and hit the little bell so you get the notification so that you know when we go live. So just in case you don't know, CJ's about to hit a really big milestone in YouTube land, and that is 100,000 subscribers. And it is a big deal, and it is extremely hard to do, and most channels do not get there. So this is a big deal. Jeff and I are flying out to California to be there when this happens. And we are going to go live. I think CJ's going to cook paella. We're going to be outside. There's going to be, like he said, there's going to be other creators coming on, which is so cool to get to know other YouTube creators. And I think it's going to be a blast. I mean, it's going to be a blast. So
Lucy said that what times we're basically gonna start around 1:00 Pacific Standard Time.
So it'll be 3:00 Central Time, 4:00 Eastern Time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we'll go until we don't go.
We're gonna go until you hit 100,000, and it has to happen. It has to happen because I have to go to Catalina the next day.
Right. So. You could only go live for 12 hours at a time on YouTube, right? So theoretically, we can go till 1:00 a.m. Not sure we're gonna do that.
I was gonna say, I don't know. We might have to cut it off, sleep, go back to it.
I mean, it just depends how
we'll just pop in from the Catalina Island.
I'm sure there's gonna be a little bit of adult beverages going on, right? So I don't know how long we can keep that. I want to say flowing, but going. So we'll see how it goes, but we should have a good time. I have a giveaway video on my channel, so you want to go check it out. But throughout the day, we're gonna be messing around, and I got thermometers and hats, whatever. We'll probably mess around with giving people stuff. Daddy Dutch Barbecue. He won one of my contests a long time ago. We first started, and I have headshots of me. All right, so 8x10s. So you never know; those might come out and get thrown around, or throw some. So it's gonna be a good time for sure. I can't wait, and we're manifesting it. I'm not allowed to hit the 100,000 before the 30th. Louise said,
no.
So that's what we're gonna do.
And where are you now?
About 1,300 and change away. So the last couple of days, getting introduced to your followers and subscribers, help jump us up a bit. But
you might make it. Well, I mean,
so we have 9 days to the 30th, right? And this day is almost over. So I think.
Well, I know exactly. I can control this. I'm very controlling.
I understand.
I will unsubscribe until you get to that 999.
Just keep backing out. Keep backing out. So,
oh no, he's getting too close. Unsubscribe. I'll call all my friends. Unsubscribe. He's getting too close. You can resubscribe on the 30th. Unsubscribe. CJ's gonna be like, no, Stop! My numbers are going down.
Right, everybody step back. Five of you unsubscribe quickly.
Zip it right now.
So, we will do a live cook like we did on Louise's channel yesterday. We're gonna do one on my channel. Maybe not the 30th so much because we're gonna be kind of obviously messing around and having a good time.
Yeah,
we're gonna be cooking. Don't get me wrong. There'll be food.
Yeah,
a lot of food.
Yeah,
but I think in the first couple of weeks of the new year, we'll have Louise come on my channel and boss me around for a little bit, and it'll be a good time for sure.
Yeah. And I want to make it really challenging. I mean, he was easy on me. I want to make it really challenging. So we're going to have him make something really, really good, but hard. All right. So what's up? What's next, Jeff?
All right, CJ, let's see, where are we at? If you could devote more time to a part of the video production process, what part would you spend more time with?
I guess two things. I would get more camera setups, angles, that would be the more quick fix of it. And then the second part would be editing. I would, learn the software like you guys use, or Final Cut Pro or Adobe, whatever. I would learn that and use everything that we built, into it, and, put a better production. I would say, I don't have that yet, but we'll get there for sure.
Yeah, and the time, anytime you add something. So even if you could, I mean, obviously you could go and buy 3 more cameras, okay, that's a one-time investment. You could even figure out in one day how to set them all up, but then that's going to add time to everything else, so you just have to wait until you're kind of ready for that. I wouldn't be doing it. I could never do what Jeff does.
Right. In every camera that you set up, you have to hit record, right? So I have to go behind and hit record, right? And then come back, make sure we got, sound syncing.
You missed a word there, CJ. You have to remember.
Oh, yes. You have to remember to hit record. Yeah. I have done that a couple of times where I've hit stop as opposed to record. When I thought I was recording, it was off.
Where do I point to get to you?
I have a nickel for every time I've done that in the last 37 years.
Yep.
I wouldn't be here right now.
And I'll tell you, he's actually sometimes, I don't even want to hear this come out of his mouth. He's like, oh, he'll be in his office editing. He'll be like, oh. Guess what? I'm like, oh, what? I didn't turn the microphone on. What? So, or one of the cameras. That's usually easy though. If he doesn't turn on one of the cameras, it's like he'll figure that out pretty soon into doing it. But the microphone, had no idea. I think he made it work though, because I was thinking, oh man, I don't want to refilm that whole video just for that. My goodness. So now it's like, I'll say, Jeff, microphone. He does a sound test now, and we just go through and do little checklists.
Yeah, she'll ask me. I say, okay, I'm ready. She goes, are your cameras rolling? And I don't take it personally, because if she doesn't say that and I miss it, it's on me, and it works out.
Larson says we need a production assistant. Oh, I would have a prep assistant in a minute. Oh my gosh.
So I would say that if you could devote more time to production, you would choose managing another person to help.
No. Well, yes and no, but no, if I was to spend more time. So what is the question? How does it read exactly?
Okay. So if you could devote more time to one aspect of the video production process, what would you choose?
Planning. I'm telling you, I am a seat of the pants flyer. And how many times have I looked at a 9x13 pan and told you on video that it's 9x11?
Or 8x13.
Or 8x13. Or how many times do I have a scoop that I know is a tablespoon and I tell you it's a teaspoon? I mean, like those things can't be really easily fixed. Jeff can fix some if I catch them, but sometimes I don't even catch them even when I'm going through the video. But planning out like the things that are really important for you guys to know, that would be where I would spend my time. Like doing, okay, like for example, what video was it? So it was just the caramel video. Like, and I don't want anyone to ever think that this is something that I would do intentionally, because it would never be intentional. We talked a little bit about it last time on Monday about clickbait stuff. Like, I am not clickbaity at all. So when I say in a video, I'll get to that in just a minute. Like, I'm going to go into more details in just a minute about that. And then I forget to do it because I don't have like, what do they call those things? Like a whiteboard, like a storyboard. I don't storyboard anything out because I just walk into the kitchen and wing it. I mean, well,
she didn't wing it. She's already cooked it 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, I don't wing it like that. I mean, I've got the recipe down pat, but it's what I'm going to say. I don't storyboard it out. So sometimes I miss it. And then what people don't see, for like when you're watching the video, you're seeing it edited. On YouTube, you're seeing it edited. So it's, I'll say, oh, I'll get into that in just a bit. And then you're waiting for me to get into it, and the video ends and I never get into it. But what you don't know is that after I said that, there was a big pause. Like, we stopped filming for a while. I started doing other things. My mind has shiny penny syndrome all the time. When I get back to pick up the video, I forgot that I was supposed to do that. Sometimes I'll say, Jeff, did I already talk about that? Or again, then sometimes I repeat myself 14 times in a video. I don't want to do that. I've had so many comments. Oh, you're just dragging on this video. You've repeated yourself 14 times. Yep. I'm not dragging on the video. Trust me. I don't want it to be longer than it needs to be, but I forget that I already said it. And sometimes there's no easy way to cut it out because it's while I'm doing something important that you guys need to see. So it is what it is, but planning would be huge for me. That's what I would do.
So there was a comment in there from Lois just a minute ago. Like, if you scroll up a little bit, about
how many tacos do we eat?
Yeah. Eat. That was
it.
You see it?
No, I mean, I saw it. Oh yeah. You want me to put it up on the board?
Yeah, throw it up real quick because I just think it's funny.
Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Go back. I saw it. I was going to answer it.
And George and Bobby and all of my people in the chat, thank you guys for being here. Bobby's the ultimate supporter. Love her.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome for you being here.
And then I see we're talking about losing the audio. I've done that before, and I've had to go to the voiceover. So it's just it is a kind of a trick. A lot of the good thing is for the last few months I've been filming with my phone vertically for like TikToks, Reels, whatever, and then filming horizontally with my main camera. So if I happen to lose some audio with my main audio, my camera, my Rode mic, I do have a little backup audio with my iPhone for the vertical videos. So that's helped out a little bit.
Here's that comment.
Oh, is that the one? CJ's channel so fun?
No, that's not it.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Oh, okay. I was talking about a different one when she asked how many tacos we ate. After we closed out, we didn't eat anymore, so we ate those, and that was enough. But yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, I didn't see this one.
She's hung in there on one of his birthdays and couldn't drink anymore. Yeah, we used to when we did those hot seat videos, or even like the main live streams. We'd have guests on that we'd be talking to, and they would try to hang with the amount of booze that Daddy Dutch Barbecue and myself consumed every other Thursday or every Thursday. And we're most people don't have a bunch of cocktails once a week, so when they try to come on and go shot for shot, or drink wine or drink whiskey, whatever, a lot of people could not hang for sure. We had some good times. I've had to shut down a couple of lives because the guests were getting a little slurry.
Oh, I know. Can we tell the funny story? Like, I think I saw one of your lives, that where you were doing this and I saw what happened to the girl. And I said, I'm not going on there. I'm never going on there.
Well, you know, as people liquor up, they lose a certain
it was
inhibitions
fun. It
things
was so fun, but
yeah.
no.
I
Thankfully my internet wasn't cooperating at the time. So I had a legitimate reason
right.
to say, CJ, I can't be on there. But then the other part of me was like,
well,
dodge that bullet.
one of our favorite YouTubers that we won't discuss who they are, that person gradually got wasted.
Yeah.
And then ended up, you know, eating, smacking their lips while we were doing our thing. So there were people that just could not handle the fun. And then we had tons of great people, tons of fun for sure.
Oh yeah, you did. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed
it was hilarious, man.
I'm gonna jump into one of the questions from Ellen. I'll pop it up here. From your own recipes, which one is your favorite?
And let's give a little background on my girl Ellen. Okay, so Ellen is from the Netherlands.
Wow, right on.
Ellen is amazing. She is such a dear person to me. She has helped me just so much. So I was creating my online Ninja Foodie course. And in the Netherlands, in the UK, and in Australia, they have different names for foods. They have different substitutes for foods. Obviously, they use a different weighing system, measurement system. Ellen took my little cookbook that I put together and she went through it and made all the changes for me using the right words for the ingredients, telling me if anything was off. I mean, it was amazing. She just did this. She said, I want to help you. And she did it. And I just am so thankful. And she's so good at that kind of stuff. I just thank you, Ellen. Okay.
So answer the question.
Answer the question.
Oh, it's for me?
From your own, yeah, you both. From your own recipes, which one is your favorite?
I got to think about it. What about you, CJ?
Well, it used to be my braised short ribs, and you know, I do with a mashed potato or something like that. It's just I love doing that. But I know we were just doing it yesterday, but it's really become birria. In the case of birria tacos, that is my favorite thing to cook nowadays. And there's other stuff that you know, I love a good steak, and I love the paella that we were talking about making, and a bunch of stuff. But that birria is just freaking ridiculously good, especially when you got the right cheese, got the right mix,
right, yeah,
for sure.
I have so many I like. Hopping John, it's coming up, so that's an amazing recipe. That's for New Year's Day, so put that on your list. Hoppin' John. I love my cheater gumbo and my jambalaya. I know I get screamed at that they're not authentic and all this kind of stuff because I didn't spend 14 hours making the roux, but they're delicious. They're delicious, and so I love my cheater gumbo. I really do. I think it's delicious. What would you say, Jeff? What's your favorite recipe?
Well, now that you mentioned gumbo, I would say it might be the gumbo, especially the root beer that's in there. Incredible. What a surprise.
It's nice.
But I would say Cole Cannon is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go off the rails here and say CJ's birria tacos.
God, boy, I love it.
Whoa!
Those were good.
All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Love it.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to say gumbo. There's, really the answer is whatever one I'm working on at the time. And because I have to really like it or it has to go away. And this leads me, I saw that you answered this question. John is from Australia. He is amazing. Talk about, CJ was talking about, meeting people and having a connection. I'm telling you, John and I have known each other for a million years. We just connected so much. It's just amazing. And we're email buddies now. And he's just, so wonderful. So John wants to know, what recipe did you really want to perfect, but no matter how you tried, you just gave up because it just wasn't working? CJ.
That's a good question because it's kind of stumping me. Like I don't know. Um, but I think maybe the style of cooking that I wish I was more proficient at that I actually kind of gave up on is baking. Um, I my wife is the baker. She's amazing, but I don't have the preciseness, the attention to detail, whatever you want to call it. So I pretty much gave up on that. If that's, maybe I don't know if that's a cheater answer, but that's pretty much it. Most of my recipes that we put together, they're pretty tasty. Otherwise, we wouldn't share them with you guys. So I don't go really off the rails too much on what I cook. I try to cook, simple, easy recipes that, you can make on a weekday if you want. I mean, don't get me wrong, my smoker recipes take forever, but the foodie recipes, whatever, I'm looking for stuff that's easy for people to do, have easy instruction, easy ingredients. Like I don't try to do, amazing stuff or like overly complicated stuff on my channel. Right. So there's no real chance for me to, get bogged down on a recipe that just didn't work out right and I gave up on because I'm putting out pretty simplistic stuff.
And my answer would be I get caught up in the technique of it. So air fryer pizza was one, but I did not give up and I did finally get it right. That one took a long time though. And I haven't filmed the video yet for that, but it's really a nice recipe now. The one that okay, so this is a good segue because the one I gave up was, I guess you would call it, I'm going to call it a pizza bowl. I don't know. I think these are in Chicago a lot where it's kind of like you cook the pizza, the fillings are in the bowl, you put the crust over top, bake it, and then you flip it, right? Well, no matter what I did, that pizza dough, it was just so cumbersome to get out. I could just see like me having 3rd-degree burns in the video. It just was so difficult. I was like, this is not worth it. This is not worth it. I'm going to throw this one away. I can't do it. And the bad thing is I promised somebody on my Facebook group that I would make a recipe for her for these. And this was years ago. So I tried for a long time. You have to line the cheese just right. You've got to butter the thing everything has to be just right. And I think because of the drying aspect of the air fryer, it would still get stuck. Now, other people seem to be able to make them, but I just can't. So I gave up on that one. I said, now we transitioned it over to the air fryer pizza. So same ingredients, just different preparation. So that's one.
Jeff, right on. Jeff, there was a question there about eating recipes translating to foodie. I didn't see who asked. I think it was a Facebook one.
Yeah, I want to put that up. I saw that too. So
yeah, I was actually going to defer to Louise on that one. I haven't tried. I'm assuming yes, they can be, but I have not tried to like kind of cross cook. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think?
Yeah, they definitely can. The issue is going to be the timing of them. And so like if you're using the rapid cooker meals, it would depend on what the recipe is. If it's an air fryer recipe, the thing to think about is that the speedy is 6 quarts, not 6.5 quarts. It's a little bit different shape. Airflow runs a little differently. And you can only put your rack in 2 positions, really low down and then pretty high up. So when I tried to make some recipes that I was testing in the foodie and I tried to test them in the speedy at the same time, I was not getting the same results, especially on just air fry. In fact, I did a whole video using the Ninja Speedy for one of my air fryer recipes and they turned out so soggy, not because the speedy doesn't work. It's just, I just wasn't doing it correctly, that I went back and refilmed it in the foodie because it just works so much better. But yes, it technically you can. It's just going to take a little bit of adjustments because the Ninja Foodie's bigger, whether it's a 6.5 quart or the 8 quart, you're going to use up a little bit more of your liquid if you're doing a rapid cook, to produce that steam and everything. So just little nuances, but for the most part, so I would like to take a minute on this subject because I think it's so important. Let's look at recipes as 2 parts, okay? The ingredients and the cooking method. I can't think of any recipe, meaning the ingredients, that can't be cooked in whatever you have.
Right.
You might do it different. Now, you might have to increase liquids if you're doing slow cook versus pressure cook because you have more evaporation. But like anything you pressure cook, you can do in the oven or the stove. And it's a real struggle for me when I'm doing recipes because I don't want anyone to be like, I can't make this recipe because I don't have that appliance. You don't need an appliance. You don't need anything special. Now, I would say the microwave's a little bit different. Like, I don't really think you could, well, just because I'm not a fan of the microwave, but I don't really, can't air fry in a microwave, obviously. But you could put your, if you don't have an air fryer, you could put it in the oven. You're just not going to get as much of a crunch. So anyway, 2 parts to the recipe, the ingredients, you can always figure out how to cook in whatever you have. And I love getting emails about that. So if you have any questions, like you want to cook a recipe of CJ's, mine, anybody else on the internet, I don't care who it is, and you need help knowing what changes you need to make to fit whatever appliance you have, I'm happy to help you. Just send me an email.
Okay, ready for the next question? Here, I'm just going to pop this one in real quick from Lois. Louise, will you ever cook a spiral ham in the foodie again? I'm cooking one for Christmas. We actually have one.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to try to get to it again. So for those of you that don't know the ham story, I think I made about 25 hams one year, and I haven't made ham since. I do have one in the freezer. I was going to try to get it. I think steam and crisp might be a really good option for the ham. Hams in the US are pre-cooked unless you get a fresh ham, which is actually just pork. So you don't, it's not really about cooking it. It's about reheating it and then, crusting on your glaze or whatever you want to call it, caramelizing your glaze on there. So the pressure cooker for a spiral cut just dried it out too much, in my opinion. So I'm not a fan of that. I would probably do a low bake, but yeah, next year I'll get to it next year. I want to bring up something. Go ahead, CJ. And then I want to bring up.
Daddy Dutch brought up a question in there about, can you do a souffle in the Ninja Foodie? I believe you hadn't you?
I just did one.
Okay, yeah.
I just did one on Tasty Tuesday. I did a corn souffle for Thanksgiving, and it did puff up nicely. Now you're probably talking about a more traditional souffle, whether it's a chocolate or just a different kind of souffle. But you can. The issue with the fan, though, did I put it in the foodie? No, I did it in the oven.
No, you did it in the oven back here.
I'm not sure that. So you could do it in the Ninja oven.
Nice.
The pan is the issue with the souffle, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that's going to work too well. And I don't know of any way to circumvent that. So what do you say, CJ?
To me, that kind of falls along the lines of baking, and I wouldn't touch it.
There you go. You wouldn't touch it.
I'm sure there's some kind of way, but I wouldn't know where to begin.
Pan's gonna mess up.
I feel like it would blow off the top, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, the fan, even on bake, it's unfortunate that there is no way to do high heat cooking without the fan. We can't just flip the switch off, flip the fan off. I think that would actually make it extremely useful. Useful, but
turn the basket upside down over the souffle, maybe. You could protect against the
Oh, that's a good idea. So
maybe
you could actually put some oh my
foil
god
over it,
Well, you don't even have to do that. For people who don't want to use foil, you could put CJ, you need to go back into baking. So you could put the basket upside down, you could put parchment paper over top, put your legs on to secure the parchment paper, and you now have it protected from the fan speed.
I expect a video out of you in 2 weeks.
I think you.
Hell no.
You're the brains behind this.
I got no time, desire, energy.
Awesome. That's an awesome tip, though. There's some other uses for that little trick. So
if it fits in right side up, it'll fit in upside down.
Yep. All right. question here or it's not really a question, it's kind of a statement, but I want to bring it up because I think it's so important and something that I think as creators we don't think about as much as we should. And so Crystal says, thank you for always saying the directions and the ingredient amounts to your recipes, as I am totally blind. So that's one of the things that is so hard to think about and remember, and try to be accessible for everybody. When you're talking about the food, don't just show what it's supposed to look like. Talk about what it's supposed to look like. For any creators that are out there watching, talk about how it smells, how it tastes, how it how it feels. So I've been, and this is because of Crystal, really. I've actually, when I'm scraping the bottom of the pot for whatever, like this was with a candy recipe, I'm telling the tension that I'm feeling, because all of these little things are going to be helpful for people. So I appreciate you, Crystal. I appreciate you always chiming in though and asking for clarification when I'm not clear, because that you're just helping me become a better creator, and it's hard to remember all these little things, but I'm trying to get better. And then we also, for deaf, for people who can't hear very well, you do have closed captioning, but we also are starting to put up little, what do you call those?
Graphics.
Little graphics that have the ingredients too.
I was doing that on a few of my videos at the beginning of the year, where I would just do a portion of my video and it would, list out everything you need, like your grocery list, for lack of a better way.
Mm-hmm.
And just like we were talking about, you take on something extra, it means something extra.
Yeah.
So I was finding it difficult to keep up with that. I know a lot of people really enjoyed that. But I've tried to remember, if it's just a barbecue recipe I'm putting together and it's, I'm using store-bought sauce, I'm using, barbecue rubs that was sent to me, whatever, I'm not putting the ingredients list together. But if I'm making something like mac and cheese or something like that, where it has an ingredient list, I'll put all those in the video description.
Right.
And I'll put it on my website and, whatever. Yeah. So there's places where you can get that stuff, but I do find it difficult to always remember to say what I'm doing as far as like ingredient wise, like a tablespoon of this, whatever, a teaspoon of that. Because a lot of the cooking I do is
use your judgment.
To taste, right? Like it's a couple tablespoons of this, or it's a pinch of that. Because we're home cooks, like I'm not a pro, right? So as I cook, I'm kind of not haphazardly. I have a broad sense of what I want to do, but I know that sometimes you need to season a little bit more. Sometimes you need to ease up on the oil or whatever, right? So I do a lot of abouts while I'm talking through a video,
right?
Or approximately whatever, and then when I type it out, I'll put a exact amount to a baseline jump off point.
Right. All right. I think that's hard for people though, CJ, that are just starting to learn to cook, where they really don't know. Like, I never measured a spice in my life before I started doing this. So, I mean, I've never measured a thing. I don't even half the time measure when I bake, but I've been baking, and I'm talking about cookies and stuff like I measure everything now. I mean, really, I do, so that I make sure that I get that baseline. Now, some people might make the recipe and say, oh, it was a little too salty, a little too peppery. Next time I'll back down, but I try to give them that baseline. It is probably the hardest part of any recipe for me, because like CJ said, each and every time you're like, let's say I'm cooking a recipe 3 times. I might think it's perfect the second time, but then I go to duplicate it the 3rd time, and it just needed that pinch more of salt, or that pinch of, a red pepper flake, or like a little bit more. Why was that? Well, there's a million reasons why that could be, because we're never going to be exact unless we weigh out all of our ingredients. Which I have a question. I want to ask the audience a question, and I hope that I get answers back, because I've asked a few people and I've never really quite been able to wrap my head around this. So if you are using the metric measuring system, John, Ellen, okay, how do you deal with your spices? You are not, I don't think, using a scale to gram out your spices, are you? Do you have, I know you can buy measuring spoons. I know you can buy US measuring spoons. I've also heard that the measuring spoons are a little bit different measure in different countries. But what do you do? Because I can't imagine cooking and having to weigh out everything. I think I would lose it. So you answer in the comments, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Jeff. I talk too much. Okay.
I don't even know where we started with that question. But
well, thank you, Sam. Sam put a nice compliment in there. I appreciate you, man. All right, I'm hoping you're the man. And then Josh is in the chat. What's up, Josh? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Josh. Crystal, again, I didn't see this, but let's talk about this on Tasty Tuesday. I mean, not Tasty. Let's talk about this on the Q&A instead of here. Okay, let's address that. I'll try to remember that one. Okay, Crystal.
Ralph said we eyeball it. His measurement. We eyeball it. That's how we cook. All right, go ahead and address that. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
Nope, you're good.
Actually, that last question was kind of a decent segue, because she's talking about no-bake cookies, which doesn't use an appliance. So let's forget about appliances, but still talking about tools in the kitchen. If where was that question? Here we go. Appliances aside, what kitchen tool could you not live without? Louise, do you want to go first?
A knife.
Simple as that.
Yeah, I would second that, but since I do cook a lot of proteins in my videos, I would go with an instant read thermometer too.
Oh yeah.
Because
I wing that.
yeah, it's so many people are scared to cook proteins correctly, especially like chicken breasts, right? People are scared to death of chicken breasts. So what do they do? Overcook the crap out of it, right? It's not juicy, it's sawdust, it's tough. I cook a lot of stuff to 5 degrees under what's recommended.
That's what I do.
Rest and get the carryover to where we're cooking safe food. But I use my instant read thermometer, even my my Bluetooth ones. I have thermometers coming out of my ears around here, so but if you look when I cut something, a protein up on my channel, I'll always say the juice is loose, right? Because you got to cook to internal temperatures, and we were talking about the comments that we get, right? And one of the comments that I hate the most is, how long did it take? Now I understand you're trying to kind of plan your night. I want to do dinner for this, so I do try to remember to say how long it takes. But when you're cooking your proteins, you got to cook to internal temperatures, and sometimes it'll be different.
Let's talk about why is it different? Why is it different?
Your cooker may vary. The temperatures where you're at may vary. Your elevation may vary. The humidity in the air may make things vary. Like there's so many different variables.
Protein going, the temperature of the protein.
Yeah, you could have pulled yours out earlier than I did, right? Yeah. Or you let yours come to room temperature. Yeah. There's so many variables in cooking that we try to give you a baseline idea of what it's going to take and what you need to do. But you also have to kind of, obviously you're watching this stuff to learn a recipe and learn how to do something. You have to learn to use your instincts on things, use your mind on things, know that you'll get comfortable cooking a protein, right? And not overcooking the protein. Don't be scared of the protein, right? And I think a lot of really, especially in America, I know we have a lot of people watching all over, but in America, people are scared to death of cooking chicken, right? And even dark meat and pork, and pork, it can be a little under,
It should be pink.
It should be pink. I try not to say that because I don't want to freak anybody out, but I cook my pork
Well, let's do a little cooking lesson. I mean, so when you cut open your steak and you see it's, it's rare and the juices are red, what is that not? It is not blood.
It's not blood.
It is not. It is myoglobin. And why does beef have myoglobin? More myoglobin, well, certain cuts have more myoglobin than, let's say, a chicken. Do you know, CJ?
No, I don't.
How hard the muscles work.
How hard the muscles work. So that the myoglobin is the difference between your breast meat on a chicken and your darker thigh meat on the chicken. So it's the amount that the muscle worked. So on beef, they're worked quite a bit, and you have red meat. It's the difference. It's all myoglobin. It's not blood. It's not blood. Right. Because blood, just like in the human body, blood doesn't just go through muscles. I mean, there's little capillaries, but blood goes through veins and arteries. It's just the same thing. And those are out of your meat. Unless you
if you were cooking blood,
unless you put
it would congeal. It would become a solid, right?
Yeah.
So you're not cooking blood. So
nope.
I know we got a lot of people watching. It's myoglobin. It's okay.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, it is.
You're not. You'd be eating a blood cake. I mean, you've heard of blood sausage before, right? That's there's blood in it, but it obviously solidifies when you cook.
Right.
So,
right.
To keep in mind, right?
Yeah, it's important. Another real big myth is that you can't thaw and refreeze something. And I get this a lot for my fish recipe. I have a fish and chips recipe, and people are like, "What? You thawed that fish and then you breaded it and then you put it back in the freezer?" Yeah. I thawed it in the refrigerator. I thawed it safely. I breaded it within a time frame. So like I'm certified in food safety because I owned a restaurant. So like there's time frames and there's temperature, that ranges and stuff like that you have to fall into. But yeah, it's perfectly safe. It's perfectly safe to thaw something and then refreeze it. I mean, 90% of the meat that you get at your grocery store has been frozen, thawed. You buy it, you refreeze it, and I don't even know if you can guarantee that was done safely.
Yeah, right. In our grocery stores in America, it'll say eat or refreeze by certain date, right?
Yeah.
Refrigerator freeze by a certain
refrigerator. Yeah. Or freeze by. I don't think it says refreeze though.
No, not refreeze. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Refrigerate or freeze by. So and it's chicken. It's in the package. It has been already defrosted. So that's
and I don't think that who's the fish stick guy? Gordon
Fisherman.
Gordon's fish sticks. I don't think they're there at the docks getting their fresh fish and then battering them and breading them and then freezing them. I'm pretty sure they're coming to the factories frozen because they would have to for safety reasons.
Right.
So, I mean, there's even some fish that are frozen right on the boat or at least right at the dock.
Tuna's frozen.
Tuna's frozen. Well, yeah, if it's
right there.
Right there. Because you can't play around with it. Like,
no.
You can't play around with certain proteins, and you certainly want them out like that. No. Catastrophica. I know I didn't say that right. It's saying the same thing that we just said. So yeah, that's great. All right. Sorry to derail into cooking stuff. It's my passion.
It's all behind the scenes. It's all the truth.
You guys are sharing some really good information, which, another good segue into the next thing. There's a lot to learn when you're cooking. There's a lot to learn when you're making these YouTube videos. What is the steepest learning curve you've had to overcome, and how did you do it, Louise?
Writing things down.
Yeah.
So just like I was talking about, just like the recipes, I'm such a wing it cook. Like, I've never really followed a recipe in my life. I've never written, before I started my website in 2015, I never wrote a recipe in my life that was legible anyway. Every single time I walked into the kitchen, it was something new. I mean, I might be recreating a dish that we've had before, but it would never be the same. Well, except for when I owned the restaurant, we did have recipes there, but Writing things down is the biggest learning curve. I'm still having trouble with it because I think my brain works a little bit better than it actually does. And I think I'm going to remember. So I'll come into the kitchen and I'll start getting creative, and I've got my spices and I'm, measuring things out and I'm writing them down until I forget. And then I think, oh my gosh, did I just put in, was that 1 or 2 teaspoons? I have to take a guess. And then I have to make it again, right? So writing things down. What about you, CJ?
No, writing recipes. I mean, that's as far as the cooking side of things. The video production, that was a huge curve. I mean, we've already kind of talked about that. But writing recipes down, especially as I've had my site built and I've put kind of blog posts on there, that has been the hardest part for me. And I still don't think I do it very well. Like I am writing down the recipes like a football coach calls plays.
Yeah.
It's because that's what I know, right? It's easy, you'll understand it, you can get down there, but I'm not very descriptive on things. It's not like I have a thesaurus sitting next to me, coming up with.
Well, I think people are going to appreciate that, though, CJ. I mean, like, I think sometimes I go off the rails with my recipes and descriptions and things like that. And you try to keep them as simple as possible with actionable steps
right
in the recipe. But what is really important is that we never make assumptions about what people know or don't know. So what somebody who's been cooking for 30 years might know,
right,
it's not the same as somebody who's cooking for 2 years. So being as precise as you can is important. It's hard. It takes me 8 hours at least to write a recipe post
right
on my website. 8 hours. It's a very long process because I want to get everything down, and it's hard. It's hard for me. So
real quick, let me say hi to someone in the chat. Uncle Steve Shake, great friend of mine.
Yeah.
Say hi to Uncle Steve in the chat. If you watch my videos, I use a lot of his seasonings, his shakes in my videos. One of the best dudes you'll ever meet in the world. And it goes back to knowing, meeting people online here, right? I've been to his house. We've broken bread together. Like these are good people that we're talking about here. So I'll say hi to Steve in the chat.
Hello, Steve. Talking about friends and things. I'm just going to pop this up. Skip Hall. I have known Skip since I was probably 14 years old. And he says, are you still live or did I miss you yet again? And honestly, Skip, we are live, but I thought you said, are you still alive? Or did I miss you again? And I'm like, okay, Skip, I'm definitely still alive. Anyway, so thanks for joining in. I mean, that's so cool to see people. I mean, I'm still friends with Skip, and his wife is just, oh my gosh, one of my very dearest friends. But it's really cool to see people that you've known for that long. Yep. And Vicky says, is it blooper time?
That's a good break from.
Let's take a little
from questions.
Yeah.
Actually, there's something before we get into the video, into the bloopers. I wanted to go back to something we were talking about the other day, Monday, and that was starting out and shooting in Maryland in a different kitchen and trying to do everything with one camera and starting and stopping. And this is one of the very first videos that we ever produced. Actually, it came out pretty good. We produced it. What?
Are you going back to Sandy's house?
No. I wish we could go back there. I could probably find that, but I don't.
Oh my gosh!
This is something that we produced for when Instagram first started
TV.
doing TV, IGTV. Remember that, CJ?
That was a long time ago. I thought that was going to go somewhere.
Well, I did too. I thought they were onto something.
Kind of what TikTok is now.
But they've changed it, I think, now.
Yeah,
anyway,
Reels now.
It was horizontal. I mean, Instagram TV was like horizontal videos and stuff like that.
Let's see.
So I know we were trying to find bloopers for me. And I just couldn't find it, but I do have one that's stuck in my memory that I did not put out. I cooked grilled salmon on the foodie grill, and I hate to say it, but I hate salmon. Like, just would despise it, right?
Jeff
And,
does too.
and Daddy Dutch Barbecue, so Kent, one of my guys, he was telling me, you got to make the video. Everybody wants you to make it, because I've had the conversation like, I don't want to make this video, man. I don't like the flavor.
Right.
And so I took a bite, and if you like salmon, it's probably good, right? And I ended up, yum, try this, whatever. And then I had the camera rolling, but I ended up spitting the salmon out and just cussing at Dutch the whole way through. So I was like, I can't believe you made me beep and do this, whatever. So I cut that part out, and then I sent it to Dutch, but obviously stayed out of the bloopers, and we couldn't show it here. But I did not enjoy that at all.
Jeff doesn't like it either.
I've tried. I mean, she's made it before where it was okay.
It's okay.
But I just can't do. I'm not really good with seafood. Shellfish I'm okay with, but I don't do seafood. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play. This is the very first. I'm sorry. This is one of the early videos that we did. The audio is not really good, but I think it came out okay. So
right.
Hi, I'm Louise from the Salt and Pepper, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really quick and easy fajita chicken salad. So the thing that I like the most about this is that the marinade also, with one secret ingredient, is also the dressing. So I'll show you that a little bit later. But right now my pan is hot, smoking hot, and I'm going to get the chicken in.
Ooh, hear that sizzle? Now, ordinarily people will tell you to dry off your meat before you put it into a hot pan. But with this recipe, you just dump it in and let it sit. Just let it cook. We'll leave this alone for about 45 seconds. I'll flip them over, and then we'll add in our veggies.
I love the music, Jeff. A little girl from Ipanema going on.
We're already getting that beautiful brown color on the chicken. Now let's give this a turn, and then we'll add in the vegetables.
I missed that stove.
Oh, I know.
That looks good. I'm hungry.
This is a good recipe, really.
I thought they were horizontal. They're vertical.
Yeah,
Our marinated chicken and
is
the
mostly
bell
vertical.
peppers have finished cooking
Even
with
with
the onion.
IGTV.
And look at that beautiful char. I got that from the cast iron pan. I really recommend cooking this recipe in a cast iron pan. But if you don't have one, use a stainless steel skillet and it'll work out just fine. So we have our butter lettuce in here, which I just broke up with my hands. And we're gonna add in all of these great ingredients. So I have cheated a little bit because remember, this is fast and easy. So I used fire roasted tomatoes in the can, which I drained really well. And the recipe calls for a can of corn. However, it is summertime on the Eastern Shore, so I did get regular corn and I charred it a little bit. But you can use canned corn, it works perfectly fine. I'm gonna dump that in here. And this is where it gets like so easy and delicious. You just start dumping ingredients. A little bit of cilantro, dump it in. The lime zest, dump it in. Jalapeno peppers. Now, a little thing about jalapeno peppers is you want to cut off a little bit and taste how hot it is because they vary in heat a lot. This one was not very hot, so I left the seeds in. But if it is a hot one, feel free to take out the seeds, or if you don't like spice, take it out altogether. So we're gonna add in all this hot goodness here. This is what I love about a fajita salad, is that you get that coolness of the vegetables and the heat, and it all mixes in. Oh, and it tastes delicious. So let's give this like just a little mix. Look how beautiful that is, and it's such an easy and fast recipe. Now, remember that marinade that I talked about? Well, the marinade, I used half of it and added a cucumber. And use the food processor to, puree it, and that becomes the dressing. And that's what I love about this recipe, the simplicity. You can find the recipe on the salted pepper. And
Which I took down
a little bit, and then let's plate it. Oh, and I have a garnish over here. It's a little cheat because this is healthy here, but I do have a little cheat, and that is store-bought tortilla strips. Now you can make your own, and I do that from time to time. But remember, this is quick and easy. So we're gonna get a lot of this goodness in here. Put it in your.
Did I forget the cheese?
Plate doesn't matter.
No cheese on yours.
Got it. Second.
Taste it. Oh my god, so good. We're gonna add a little cheese. Now, you can use the shredded cheese that you buy in a bag. That's fine.
No,
I'm not gonna be mad at you.
You can lick your fingers and go right into the cheese bowl. It's fine because you're at home.
So
You're
I
feeding
fresh
yourself.
I use 3 different kinds.
Do you know how much I would get screamed at?
Queso, quesadilla, and
Y'all
striped
straight
cheddar.
finger licking
Just
good
top that
at
with
the
a
end of the
little bit of
video when
cheese.
I'm trying stuff.
And make
You're
sure that
I
you
took
get
it down.
some of the chicken and the peppers and the lettuce.
Oh my gosh, I want that right now.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh, and I have gained definitely 30
You
pounds.
can really taste the lime.
I put on 100 pounds since I started the YouTube channel.
Have you?
Crispness of
No, so
salad
a fair
and the
amount, but not
lettuce
that
is
much.
perfect.
But yeah, I put on a lot of weight
I
since I
love
started.
the little bit of spice that you get
I'm
from the jalapeno.
30 up.
This is so quick.
Something to that effect, yeah.
Absolutely love it. We make it all the time, and I hope you will too. So go on over to thesaltedpepper.com and check out the recipe. See you next time.
So Ellen wants to know why I took the recipe down, and I'll tell you because I went and I read it, and it didn't make any damn sense. I was such a bad recipe writer because this was in 2015. I did not.
2000. This is 18.
Oh, this was 2018. So 3 years
17,
later.
17 or 18.
No, it wasn't. Well, it might have been early 18, but it wasn't late 18.
You said it was summer, so it was early 18. So this is
Okay.
right before we moved out.
Okay, so right before we moved, and it didn't make any sense. It was a terrible recipe. It was terribly written. So I've got to go back and retest it. And we shot actually the dressing, but I overcomplicate things sometimes. And I was trying to get the dressing without the marinade. So in case you didn't want to put in the chicken and the protein, you could actually, the dressing is amazing, right? But you have to add a cucumber to only half of it. Then I started, cutting it, which isn't a big deal, cutting it in half, blah, 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 blah. And then we did the video for the dressing, and I have it. I've just never put it up because I want to make the salad along with it.
Well, I will say this, that I think that video, even though it took us a while to produce it because we're shooting it with one or two, I think one camera, and stop, let me move over here and all this. This is when I knew that this YouTube thing could, or at least video for the salted pepper could work. And
Right.
that's when we got to Tennessee, I was like, let's keep doing this because this could work.
I didn't want to do it though, like I said last time.
All right, so
Okay.
and here's the downside of it, the bloopers. So this was a hit
CJ
last time,
relates
so
to
we're gonna
these.
go with bloopers number 2 here. I've got 3 really cool ones, so I'm just gonna do them in no particular order here.
Just gonna move that around. It'll all get mixed in at the end. Don't worry about it. All right, I'm gonna take my onion.
That's not an onion.
Oh, that hair.
Go
Ready?
back to just have your hand over there by that thing like you just finished stirring. That lighting. I don't even know what tool you used.
This.
Oh, you were pouring it. Okay.
I had some big. All right, now I'm gonna get my onion.
Just roll with it. No one will know.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
I mean, how does somebody do that really?
So easy.
Onion twice.
See,
But twice?
that goes to show you that you have so much going on in your mind, and you're talking with Jeff, or you're dealing with whatever's going on in there.
Yeah.
It
It's
can
hard.
just melt that concentration just a little bit. And, you're calling a lemon an onion. It happens.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even know what things are called like this.
And in this bowl here, I have 3 different things. I have some soy sauce, lemon juice, and Worcestershire. Sure. And Worcestershire.
W sauce. Just have W sauce.
Worcestershire. Okay. And in this bowl, I have 3 different things. I have lemon juice, soy sauce, and Worcestershire. I cannot say it. Worcestershire. Okay. And in this bowl, I have 3 different things. I have Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire, it doesn't matter. It's just not here.
Worcestershire. Okay. So in this bowl, I have 3 different things. I have Worcestershire sauce, I have lemon juice, and soy sauce. And I think it was 2 teaspoons. I'm not sure. I'm not going to tell you anything wrong. I'll list them below for sure. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know. After that, I was like, I don't even know. I got nothing.
What's this here?
One more blooper, and do you want to?
We could probably save it.
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
The fly.
Oh yeah, let's do that later.
Okay, we'll do that later. Okay, I wanted to move on with another question. Since Louise, since you're in the big screen, you get it first. Did the learning curve thing. Well, let's do this. What's your favorite part of this YouTube journey, and what's your least favorite?
Did we answer this last time?
I don't think we did. Did we, CJ?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I'll make it quicker. I don't remember what I said last time, but what's my favorite thing? Definitely the people, which is also my least favorite thing.
I was just going to say that.
I mean, yeah. So you guys, my absolute favorite thing. The not nice people, my least favorite thing. So the negativity is hard sometimes, but I love the connection with the people. I just love it. It's my favorite thing. It's just changed my life. It's made me understand people better. It's made me be a better communicator. It's allowed me to grow as a human, as a cook. It's allowed me to, I don't know, just do so many things. And I have, well, Jeff would disagree with this, but I have a lot more patience than I ever used to have. He's not saying.
I had to look to the side.
It's 14 years of marriage right there. I know when to talk and not when not.
So yeah, so you guys definitely, and then the jerks are the worst part, I think, because most people have no clue how hard this is. So it's hard to be bashed by somebody who's never done it. You want to bash me, then make your own videos. Like at least
exactly
at least 50 of them. Make 50 videos and then come tell me what I did wrong.
Mm-hmm. Like those keyboard chefs, they know everything.
Yeah.
What about you, CJ?
Kind of the same. We had touched on it yesterday or Monday with the community that we've gotten to get to know and develop relationships over the years, and it's been amazing. The comments get to me a little bit. The people in the comments that are not that are fine, but they feel entitled. Like, I watched your video. You should be able to answer every question I have on Facebook for here to eternity. And you'll get a little sideways if you don't answer right away. There's people like that I've dealt with over the years. And I don't really care for that too much. Like, I'm more or less ready, available to, answer questions and be a part of the communities, and, I'll answer emails and all that stuff. But if I ever feel like you're acting like you're entitled to anything, I cut it off. Like, I don't want that in my life, right? We're putting out content. We got good stuff for you. We want to help you out. We want to get you on your journey and all that stuff. But any second that I feel like you're like, well, I bought your steak knife or whatever, you need to answer all my questions. And if you don't, you're a bad person or whatever. I don't like that part of it. The mean comments, I don't really care for that either. But I'll answer them or not, or block them, whatever. But so it, like Louise said, it's it's a flip side of the coin. You got great people, great community, and you got some assholes out there.
Here's a really
So,
good
I-
comment from Lizard's Travel.
Oh yeah, I can answer this actually.
Yeah, because go ahead.
So I want to follow up though. Before we do this, I'm going to take this off. Before we do this, I want to follow up to that a little bit because, I know did I lose my train of thought? Maybe. Let me think. So I know.
Mean comments.
Yeah, I know what you said. And it was like, oh, I know. This is like one of the biggest struggles, and it goes right along with the same thing that CJ's saying. Is I find it very hard to like promote things. I find it very hard to promote my recipes. Find it very hard to promote my videos. I even find it hard to promote other people's videos. But it is easier to promote other people's, but I still find it hard. I find it hard to promote an online course that I have that's amazing because I am so worried. People are just going to attack me for being salesy and I want to take advantage of people. And that is not it at all. Like there's so much value. I just want to share it. And yeah, there's certain things that cost money. There's certain things that are free. I will never mind if you don't buy the paid item. It's not going to matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to, don't feel any obligation. But there's a lot of value there too. And it's all wrapped up in one little package. But I find myself not even doing it because of the hate, and I really need to get over that because I think a lot of people who have stumbled upon my course are like, whoa, I didn't know you had this. Same thing with cookbooks and stuff. And do you feel the same way where you like don't even want to like talk about it, anything? Because it's so
I get the same thing too, and I'll put on there like I don't know, I keep going back to thermometers, but it's just stuck in my head. If I'm using a thermometer, that means I've tested it. I've used it many times before it goes on my channel. So I'm not shilling it for a company unless, even if they're paying for it or giving me an affiliate link or whatever, I'm not putting anything on my channel that isn't going to be, good, or something I won't use myself. How about that? So, because I do get a lot of those comments like, oh, you're just shilling for this company or whatever because they're paying you. More often than not, they're not paying me. But it's one of those things. Like, there's a certain amount of credibility that we've built up over the years. And I had a person tell me a long time ago, before I think hit like 1,000 subscribers or anything like that, people eventually are going to start following you because they're trusting in what you're saying. They're trusting what you're doing. They're going to take the skills they learn from watching you. So you better be right on with what you're doing.
Exactly.
So I took that to heart. When I first started doing videos, I wasn't probably putting the effort into it or the research into it or whatever, the learning part of whatever I'm, doing. And I took that to heart. Like, you know what? Lois is going to watch one of my videos and want to, make braised short ribs. I better do it the right way. So she's learning the right skill so she could, be proud of something she puts on the table for her family. Right. So anything we're doing, we've done it before. And if we haven't done it before, like if I'm doing a recipe for fun and I haven't tried something before, I'll say it in the video, like, hey, we're going to go on this journey together. Let's see what we can do. Right. Mm-hmm. So I think we're relatively transparent, you and I both, on what we're putting out there.
Right.
Okay? And we're never going to put anything out there that, we wouldn't use ourselves or wouldn't do ourselves and not expect you guys to have the same amount of success or whatever. And we can't say that for every cooking creator out there. Not at all.
No, but not at all.
Talking about the her and I, that's how we roll.
Yep. And I've been said so many things. Like, I have like a drawer full of crap knives. I would never in a million years. I mean, no, no. And I let everybody know up front. You can send them to me. I will use them as testing. If they work and they're at a price point that, I think is good for my audience and I think that they're going to last. Like, that's the thing too. You're not going to send me a knife. I don't care if it's like sharp as can be and works great. One day and me put out a video the next day. No, I'm going to be using it for 6 months before I decide.
I had someone want to send me a beer fridge, and I was like, I really want a beer fridge, but I can't do a freaking video on it. Like, I'm not going to show you how to ferment beer. Like, I can't, so I turned it down.
Yeah.
But I would love a little kegerator sitting, I mean, I got the booze cart. I have the kegerator behind me over here, and I would never get any work done. But
right.
I've turned down so much. And what you guys don't see, and I know it's the same for you, Louise, is that I get 10, 20, 30 emails a day from random companies, usually overseas, usually in a very big country overseas, wanting us to review, look at, borrow, cook, whatever.
Right.
Whatever items. I got hit up for a teak shower bench one time. I'm like, have you even watched what I do?
I know.
Like,
I'm
not going to cook in the shower.
I don't know, skinny clothing.
Oh yeah,
Like I'd never be able to wear that.
I get hit up with jewelry in women's leggings. I'm like, no one wants to see me in women's leggings.
I just delete.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to pop up a question from Sam Stevens here. This may have been asked before, but not on this live or the other day. How did you both get your channel names? And CJ, you want to take it first?
And
you said your name's not CJ, so it's not as easy.
Yeah, I mean my initials are CJ, so that's kind of what I went with. But I was doing my best to kind of. I really thought I was inventing the wheel. Like, I'm like, this is cooking with CJ. That sounds like a great name. And then there's so many cooking with out there. So obviously I am not set apart. I use CJ because it kind of rolls, it's easy to say. Like I said, I go by Justin to anybody outside of the YouTube, my cooking creator world. And I just thought cooking with Justin seemed a little too much, like too many syllables.
I love the name Justin, so I'm
gonna have a hard time calling you Justin, but I'll do my
best. And everybody does. Josh and Bethany, they come. Josh was in the chat earlier. They come over all the time, and they call me CJ the whole time. Well, Josh does. Bethany's good at calling me Justin, and it takes me a hot second when someone's hollering out my name. It's just.
So your wife calls you Justin.
Yeah, well, most of the time. So
That's funny.
Everybody else called me. My work, my corporate world is Justin. So, with Facebook, I set it up as CJ because I don't put a lot of personal stuff on Facebook. It's basically all. I hate Facebook, first of all. But I basically put it there, CJ, put it for the YouTube channel or my recipes or whatever. I have a private Instagram that's put on private for Justin, right? That's
private now, buddy.
Yeah, that one is obviously I have to accept you to follow, right? So that's where I put all the family pictures, and date night crap, whatever, right? But yeah, so a long way to answer cooking with CJ. I thought I was the smartest cat in the room, and put my initials together and ran with it. So
funny.
Go ahead, Louise.
Now I'm gonna say something because I just feel like this is important. I've known CJ for just about 4 years. I was brand new into YouTube. And we have talked a lot in 4 years. And I have gotten to know you and if there is such a thing, have so much more respect for you than I just did on Sunday. And I love you, you know what I mean? And I'm just listening to you. I'm like, geez, there's just so many things. You're so funny. And I don't know. I mean, you really just did a killer recipe last night with me. I don't know.
That was fun last night. I'm
enamored.
Around, but I can't wait to the first cook.
Enamored doesn't necessarily mean anything bad, right?
No, it doesn't. I'm going to post last night's Tasty Tuesday. Please don't bail off of this just to go watch it. But you'll have
So I want to go real before I answer that question. I'm gonna backtrack because I want to go back to Lizard's Travels asked if we've ever thought about doing a meet and greet cruise. So this is so funny. So I would say it was in 2019. I was approached by somebody who was a follower, and she was a travel agent, and she wanted to put together a ninja foodie cruise. Like, it sounded fun. Of course, I was thinking, okay, how do we take our pressure cookers onto a boat? I'm not sure they're going to let that happen. So then whatever, like there's so many like different things. Like, are we going to gather in the big ballroom and cook up? What are we doing here? What's the point of it?
Wait, with 100 foodies, like
Yeah.
So
But
you
I was
shut off all the power to the boat.
yeah, I was thinking, yeah, exactly. Like, is there enough electricity? Like, I don't know about this, but because of course, every time I think about gathering with ninja foodie people, I think about cooking and teaching, right?
Right.
And I thought, well, I could write a cookbook, and it could be the cookbook cruise. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, COVID did. So
yeah.
I'm so glad though, because oh my gosh, if I would have like gone on that bandwagon at that time and said, yeah, let's plan it out, everybody would have, well, whoever, the 5 people that wanted to go, would like. Everything went crazy right after that. So I'm glad I just didn't do it. So no, I haven't thought about doing any traveling in like how many years?
Well, we did kind of take not the show on the road, but we met a lot of people when we went on our last
we
trip.
did. That was fun.
And that was
fun. It was fun.
All right, so getting back to there we go. Getting back to the other.
Sorry. I just wanted to answer that because no, we said we were going to.
So how'd you get the salted pepper?
Oh, okay. So the salted pepper was something that Jeff and I came up with in 2015 when I was starting my website. So I wanted to start a food blog because I like to cook, and everybody on Facebook and stuff and my friends and everybody like, how did you make that? Blah, blah, blah. I wanted to have a place where I could put it and send them. I didn't really know about making money on it. I didn't know about much of anything, but I knew I wanted to do it. So I wanted a name, and I wanted it to be something kind of fun and blah, blah, blah. So Jeff and I were throwing out all kinds of different names, and Jeff is an interviewer. Of course, I am like such a talker. You probably don't even understand how good he is at interviewing people when they know when to shut up, but I don't. So it's hard, but he was like basically like interviewing me, and he was saying, so what are your childhood memories? What kinds of things, like what surprised you the most about cooking? Like what flavors do you like the most? And blah, 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 blah. And I was like, and tell stories. And I said, well, it's really interesting. I always hated green peppers. Like green bell peppers. I always hated them. And we would go every Sunday to my grandfather's house because they were big football people and stuff. And we would always have the vegetable tray that had the green peppers, the red peppers, the yellow peppers, and all the radishes and the carrots and all that stuff. And there's a word for it. It starts with a C. I can't pronounce it though, so I'm not going to say it. And my grandfather said, I will eat the tomatoes. I'll eat the other stuff in them, but I would not touch especially the green peppers. He said, why don't you eat the peppers? I said, oh, they're terrible tasting. He said, here, let me put a little salt on that. He put a little bit of salt on the green pepper, and I bit it, and I felt like I was in a different culinary world. Of course, I was young. I didn't even know what culinary meant, but I just remember my taste buds exploded, and I was like, wow. That's amazing. So when I was telling Jeff that story, he's like, the salted pepper. I said, oh, this sounds good. Let's go work. There you go. Yeah.
All right. So CJ brought up, and I'm going to go ahead and pop him up first. He brought up a lot of stuff about Instagram and Facebook. He hates Facebook. And that was kind of my next question. Was what other social media platforms are there that you find beneficial, and which ones do you avoid like the plague in terms of your content and sharing it with the world?
Instagram would probably be the next in line for me to share out pictures, the reels.
So what's first?
YouTube would be my first thought. So Instagram, I guess, would be the first for anything outside of YouTube. But I do put a lot of stuff on Facebook. I have a bigger following on Facebook, but for me, Instagram is just easier. I don't know why, it just is. I guess it is also helpful that Facebook owns Instagram. So a lot of the stuff I put on Instagram automatically feeds to my Facebook page. I hate TikTok, but I use it. I'll put whatever reels I create for Instagram, I'll go ahead and put it on TikTok. But I don't have a huge following. I think it's like 4,500, 4,600 people. I don't get a lot of views out of it. I'm not going to be a huge creator on there. Nothing I had has really gone viral. But I'll use it a little bit. I use Twitter a little bit too, but I don't see much traction of anything on Twitter. So it's kind of one of those back burner things. If I'm staring at my phone, I have something handy, I'll throw it up there. But, all the social media, none of them really translate, for me at least, to other social medias. So like if I put a bunch of stuff on Instagram, even like promoting my YouTube, it does not cross pollinate for me. Like a lot of people are not looking at Instagram going to YouTube, right? Same with like Facebook. I'll put links to my YouTube videos. One, Facebook buries them, right? And then two, a lot of people aren't clicking on those. I do it because I get enough clicks that it's worth the effort, but it's one of those things. I should start putting my videos on Facebook, my full length videos. I just haven't, but you never know what the next year is going to hold.
All right, Louise.
Yeah, reread the question.
Social media platforms. Which social media platforms do you find beneficial in supporting your content, and which ones do you avoid like the plague?
My top platform is Facebook.
Right.
That's where I make my connections. That's where I feel home, like at home. I feel like YouTube is a place where I post videos.
Right.
But that's not my thing. I mean, I know everybody thinks it's my thing, but YouTube's not my thing. Like I don't, it's a video sharing platform. It's Jeff's thing. My thing is my website. My thing is my groups, my people. Like I love Facebook. I understand it. I know how to work it. And I absolutely love it. Now, I don't use it personally anymore. I don't have time to use it personally anymore. But, I also am kind of over the way it was when I first joined. Now, funny story is I was a late comer to Facebook. Like, I don't think I joined Facebook until, Jeff? Like several years after we were married. I'm thinking like 2016 or something. Because I was like, social media.
Actually, 2012 we got on Facebook.
Was it? Okay, 2012. I didn't think, I don't need it. And I really, if I wasn't in business, I probably wouldn't have a profile on Facebook. But that is where I connect with everybody on Facebook. Now, the other thing is, CJ, like something that I have that I hope you build in 2023 is I have an email list where I can send emails of my recipes. Nothing's throttled like it is on social media. One of the frustrating things about social media is that they don't share things. So if you post a YouTube video on Facebook, you're not sharing it.
Right. They don't want you clicking off their platform.
Yeah, because they don't. And hey, I get it. It's their platform.
Right.
Just like YouTube. YouTube doesn't want you clicking off their platform either to go somewhere else.
And they reward you as people can stay on.
They're making money off the advertisers. They're making a lot more money off advertisers than we are. I don't make a dime off of Facebook, and I am sure CJ doesn't either.
No, I don't.
I can't think. Like I've tried for a gazillion months to get monetized on Facebook, and it's impossible. So like it's impossible. So I'm not even going to worry about them. Yeah. So what do I avoid like the plague? Nothing.
You don't touch Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. I don't get Twitter. I can't talk less than 15 sentences in one go. You think I could type that short amount of characters? No.
That's a politics.
Like I can't do that. I can't do that. I have a Twitter account at the Salt and Pepper. I don't use it. No, Twitter I don't worry about, but it's not like I avoid it like the plague, but I don't use it. I never watch it. I never look at it. TikTok I find interesting. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to be able to provide value on TikTok, because I'm not dancing. I'm not, going to be funny. I'm not.
There's plenty of cooking creators on there. They're just doing 30-second to 1 minute videos on how to make something. And for you and I, it's tough to condense, everything we want to say in the 30 seconds. So
it is.
I had that problem when I shot some stuff for Ninja. Like they were having me shoot short form vertical videos for their channel, and I had 8 minutes of film that they wanted me to condense to 30 seconds. I did it, but it's very hard.
You did a good job, actually. I like the videos quite a bit.
Oh, thank you.
I like
Chris from Eastwood Farms came in there and said encore, meaning like, is this an encore? No, this is a part 2. We went about 2 hours the first one on Monday, and we had so many questions left over. We decided to do a part 2.
I'm so naive. I thought Encore was a new social media platform.
No, it's an Encore.
Probably should be. That'd be a good one.
Let's set it up.
Yeah, good name.
Funny. Yeah, it's really hard to do short videos, and we're trying to get in the groove of that too. Taking my long videos and putting them into short videos with delivering value. But see, I'm not sure that's where the value is. Like, I feel like the value I can deliver on TikTok is more teaching stuff.
Right.
But I don't know how to get that, because even then I don't think I could teach in 30 seconds. So it's really challenging for me. The other thing that's really challenging is being camera ready. Like, do you worry about that, CJ?
As far as like looks,
like camera ready, like do you do anything? I mean,
I try to make sure my beard is combed down. I always wear a hat. Like, I'm bald. I'm follically challenged, so I wear hats in all my videos. I have this shirt. So you see the shirt I'm wearing right now? I have 7 of these because I try to keep everything relatively consistent on my videos, right? So it's not that I'm always in. Well, I'm always in black shirts. If you look at my closet, it's all black because it's all it's slimming, right? So, but I have 7 of these shirts, so I just switch them out so there's kind of continuity with how I do things. But other than that, it's not like I'm not wearing makeup or anything like that, or I just make sure I try to make sure my beard is tamed as best as possible. But sometimes you get the God, whatever. There was one more question in there. I just want to shout it out real quick. Kenna said, "You guys post on Pinterest?" I do. I'll put my links on there. I'll put my short forms on there, but it does not carry over to YouTube at all. I know you do it for your site.
My website.
Your website. Right?
I don't actually use Pinterest. I never have. I've never understood Pinterest.
Was it Rebecca who does it?
Well, actually, I make pins. Jeff makes pins, actually. Jeff makes pins. I rely on other people to do it. So I rely on people that share it. I haven't posted one pin to one of my own boards. I don't think I've been on Pinterest in 2022. I've never understood the platform. It doesn't make sense to me. There's too much spam. I don't like it. Instagram's another one. I don't get Instagram at all, but I'm going to try it. I want to try it. I want to be better. I have followers on Instagram. I know they want to see me on Instagram. And so getting to the camera ready, not camera ready, because I think Kenna's Kitchen says, "Oh my gosh, I hate having to get camera ready. Such a woman problem, I think, which makes it harder to shoot." It definitely does. So I like, I don't know, for like a hot minute, which was just a hot minute, I decided that I could go, you know, without makeup and stuff, right? And we filmed a video. I was without makeup on. I have one TikTok video with no makeup on. I'm in flip
Oh,
flops.
it was shot in here.
Yeah, I was getting ready for the day. I was starting to
Making
prep
bacon.
stuff. Yeah, I was making bacon for a recipe, doing prep stuff. And I was just like, let's just do it. Like full body shot. I'm in my leggings and just whatever. I'm sure it wasn't like the actual pajama shirt that I would really be wearing with no bra. It was, I'm sure I had a bra on and a normal shirt. But anyway, it was still as relaxed as I'm ever going to get on video. And it was fine. And then I thought, I'm going to start doing short videos like myself, like when Jeff's not here. I'm going to be doing things when I'm testing recipes because I think that's when I can add value and blah, 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 blah. But honestly, I cannot stand the way I look in them. I just can't. So I'm like, I can't do that. So yeah, so getting ready for video is a pain in the butt. Which is, I think, one of the most wonderful things about this like braid of mine. It started because people were complaining about my hair being down. And I was like, well, I got to figure out a hairstyle. Because normally I would wear my hair like, if I'm going to be like, it would be like messy, you know, up. But that didn't look too good for videos. Like I needed something of interest, I guess. I don't know. Like I'm a pain in the ass. So I was like, I don't really like it all the way up and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, there's also some other reasons I don't even know if I want to get into. I'm not going to get into them tonight. But so I'm particular about the way things are, you know, because I've had some things happen to me that I don't know. Well, I'm just going to tell you. So I don't know if you guys know, but one side of my face is different, right? So one side's bigger. Which side? This one is bigger. And that's because I was attacked and brutally beaten. And it's left all this like swelling. So a symmetrical face is no longer symmetrical. So that's why I have this braid over here so that I can sort of try to create like some distraction so that people don't notice. Like my eyebrows different, things are different. I'm going to cry. Look, I didn't cry in one, I'll cry in two. So that's behind the scenes. So when people were telling me like I needed to wear my hair up versus down, it got a little dicey for me because I was like, Jeff, I can't like wear my hair all the way up. I look ridiculous. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this, but I'm so sorry. Anyway, so but I understood where they were coming from and I understood that it bothered them and it's not their problem that I have, you know, issues to deal with. It's not their problem. So anyway, so that's where this came in to play, this braid. And I think it's awesome. I think it's great. It's like my little signature. You know what I mean? It's like my little thing. I'm going to show up with my little braid. I don't know what's going to happen when I decide to cut my hair. You know, I don't know. But
When you what?
Oh, I'm not cutting my hair. Okay. Well, we just got that cleared up.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad.
So anyway, I am so sorry. I did not mean to do that.
Wait, one of the best questions.
I'm so
I've seen-
sorry.
That's
I
okay.
feel terrible now.
All
Don't
right.
feel terrible.
One of
You're
the best
fine.
questions I've seen in the last 2 lives is, what do your channels look like in 5 to 10 years?
What will they?
Yeah. What do you think what do you want them to look like? Or what do you expect them to look like? Well, we've talked about that.
CJ,
You can't be on camera your whole, like, forever. Eventually.
I know I've talked about it. I'll be like the granny.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be granny. So I don't know, CJ, what do you see? 5 years? 5 years isn't
5
that
years,
long.
10 years.
Yeah, 5 years is not that long.
5 years, I can see myself still kind of rolling. Hopefully, hit that 100,000 by then. You know.
Oh,
5 years, not 5 days, buddy.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I hope that I have a little bit, maybe a better production within that time period. I plan on doing this as long as it'll take me. You know, as long as people still watch and still comment and still, get value from my videos, I'll keep doing it. I mean, I don't necessarily think the end goal is to do it full time. I would love to get to the point where I make enough money where my wife does not have to work and can, help me with the company, because we treat this as a company, and, you know, get a little less stress in her life because we both work in very stressful occupations. So that's my main goal eventually, is to get her away from our industry. Um, Kenna said, "Would you build a team?" Yeah, I would. Um, I had one of my son's friends who's in film school. He was editing my videos for a while. Got a little busy with his thesis and all that. My son's in film school too. Uh, Ideally, it would be awesome is when my son's done with getting his master's, I would love to hire him and pay him like a full-time employee and have him come and produce my videos. But I know he wants, real life experience in the film industry, so I can't imagine that'll happen. But I would love to work with my son. And
He can
that's
do
it.
anything he wants.
And he's right there. You're not too far from LA. He can.
Yeah, he
Oh
can do
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I would love this. I think that's kind of where we're at. I mean, I want to up the production value. Obviously, I want to, you know, once I hit 100,000 subscribers, I want to hit 1 million, right? I want to continue to grow, and as long as I continue to grow, continue to have a good time at this, in all honesty, make money at it, I'm going to continue to do it. And I do not outsource my editing except for my son's buddy who is an editor at school. So
Right. Well, I make enough money where Jeff could retire, and he doesn't. So there is that. Of course, he does have a super cool job. So, I don't know. Where would we be in five? I don't know what we're going to be doing in 5 years.
Oh, I'll probably be retired and we'll be doing this full time.
Yeah, he'll be retired within 5 years. I mean, I've been asking him to stop working full time for 2 years now.
I won't do more than 3 more years, and I may do fewer than that.
Yeah. I mean, we could really do a lot more if he didn't work, because he works shift work, which is now, when I say this, it's not really shift work like crazy. It's 7 days on, a 12-hour shift, but it's 7 days, then 7 days off. 7 days on, 7 days off. So we have 2 weeks a month where he's completely off work.
And just so people understand, when I'm at work, I can edit.
Yeah.
Because I fly a helicopter for a medevac operation, and we're not flying all the time.
Right.
If we do 2 flights in a day, that's a big deal. And each flight is no more than 3 hours, really. So in a 12-hour shift. So I've got a lot of time where I'm actually able to edit while I'm getting paid.
Right. I would say like 5 years is just a minute in YouTube world. Wouldn't you say, CJ? Like 5 years is just like a minute.
Well, I've been at it 5 years. I've been at it 5 years, and I feel like it's gone by in a blink of an eye.
Oh, I've been in it for 4 years, and I feel like it's just been a minute. How old are you, CJ?
Wow, that's personal. Jeez. No, I'm kidding. I'm 46.
Okay.
Wow, I was going to say 35 to 38.
I thought you were in your 40s.
Yeah. I dye my beard too. If you want to get really personal, I dye my beard once every other month. So.
Well, no, I wasn't going to go there.
I dye mine silver.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I put highlights in my hair, but.
Well, hey, you want the behind the scenes stuff. That's what I do to get film ready. Because it gets a little, it gets white. I went from blonde to white. I never had a gray period or a dark period. It's just gray to white, or a blonde to white.
White? Why wouldn't you just? Oh, because you don't want to look older than.
I don't want to look like freaking. I don't want to look older. I don't want to look like my father. My father and I look a lot alike, or at least I feel you. Has the biggest white beard. I don't want to be called Santa Claus. I'd hate to have to punch somebody in the face. So I want to feel, I feel old every day of my life. So when I look at myself on film, I want to at least feel a little bit younger.
I agree with that.
Write that down. Justin, not CJ, and not Santa Claus. Will be good.
Oh, well.
Don't call me Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, no Charlie.
CJ, Santa Claus.
I'm 50. How old? 52. I was born in the easiest year ever, 1970. I should always know how old I am because it's just like so simple math. But I never really even know what year it is. I don't even know what month it is. I don't know what day it is. Well, I do know what month it is now, but it's crazy. 52. I feel like I'm just starting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just starting. Like I am just understanding the meaning of life. Like I'm just getting it. All those years, all those experiences, all those good things, those bad things, the ups, the downs, being broke, being, comfortable, being broke again. All of that just builds the character. And let's face it, CJ, you have to have a lot of character to be on YouTube and about to reach 100,000.
I'm with you. And I feel like I'm on the second, when you catch your second wind, I'm on my second wind of life. Because I did go through a bit of a change right before I hit 40s, personal stuff. And it's become so much better. My life has become so much better since the changes that I made. Right. So I am on my second wind. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel old sometimes. I played a lot of football. I'm a big boy. I feel tired, old, but I'm definitely on my second wind. And, and it's right. I've been broke. We've had money. We've done things. We've not, we got 5 great kids. We have a lot of stuff going on, and we're always coming and going. We're always moving and grooving. But definitely on the second wind of life. And I can't wait to see, what the next 20, 30 years, whatever the good Lord has left for me to do. I can't wait to see what it comes with.
How old?
What did you say? 48?
46.
46.
And when did we move to Tennessee? I was how old?
In 2018.
So it's 48?
So you were 48.
CJ, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like from 48 until now and beyond, it's life-changing. It's so different. Of course, we have different lives, obviously. You have kids. I don't have kids. There's so many different things.
Yeah.
But let me just tell you about the maturity of your brain. It changes so drastically from 48 to 52. I mean, drastically changes. It's your mindset changes, your things that you thought you knew you don't know, and things that you never knew you knew. It's amazing.
And the things that used to bother you don't bother you anymore. And that's one of the coolest things.
That's true. And this is kind of apropos of the holiday season. I used to care about where I go on Christmas or who I go see or whatever. We're bailing. We're going to Vegas after the kids get done doing what they're doing. I'm not trying to go to some family event. I'm not trying to smile at relatives I haven't seen in 100 years. But that's me as I get older, right?
Yep.
My time is more valuable. I don't want to put myself in situations I don't want to be in anymore.
Yep.
I don't want to make crazy small talk with a cousin, third grade, right?
Right.
Sorry to hear about your dog with the third leg missing or whatever. Like, I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I want to enjoy.
And those people probably haven't reached out to you all throughout the year either. So it's like, they're not supporting you in any way, shape, or form. So, like, why do you even care?
Yeah. So that's kind of.
I would have half my family. I would rather go see the people that I know in the chat. I would rather go see John in Australia, Ellen in the Netherlands.
Right.
I would rather hang out with Annie and Debbie in New Jersey. Like, just priorities change, you know?
Yeah.
Things change.
Kenna, you want to answer that one real quick?
I think this is a great, like a really great thing. What advice do you have for a younger YouTuber? And I'm thinking what she means, because we were talking about age. I think she means younger in age. What do you think?
No, I was thinking just starting out, but I could be wrong. Kenna, throw it in there.
Yeah, Kenna, can you tell us what you really mean?
I
Because
mean, they're young, you know, they just had their first baby, who's adorable. By
yeah,
the way.
I think we were, when this came in, we were talking about being older.
Right.
So I'm thinking that she means younger YouTuber, like somebody who's younger age. So that's where I'm going to go with it. So my thing is,
Guess both. There you go.
Both. Yep.
She said younger in age and growing YouTube channel through that. So I
Okay.
guess both.
So what I would say, the most important thing is that you find your audience, where they connect with you now, and the people that will continue to grow with you as you grow and they grow. So like, I really feel bad that I'm not younger and I can't relate to younger audience so well. I mean, they're going to look at me like, you know, grandma. It's fine. I'll do that. But that's not how I feel inside. So I think it's just important to be yourself. Number one, above all, be authentic, be yourself, and find the people that you're going to grow with over the years. Because when you meet people, when people see you on YouTube, you want it to be a long lasting relationship. You don't want it to be something that's just, I'm watching your video, I'm out. I'm clicking on your website, I'm out. I'm, you know, in your Facebook group and I'm out. You want people who actually want to see you go through all the stages of your life. And usually that's going to happen when they're in the same stages or past them, and can relate to you going through that. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it does. I hope it does. That's my guidance.
I think it makes plenty of sense. I'm gonna go ahead and address it as a starting out YouTube channel. Okay, since you took over the age part. First and foremost, Kenna, you guys are so ahead of the game in your production value. Okay, you guys, your first videos are something to be proud of. Okay, so I would continue doing what you're doing. Obviously, you want to get better. You know, don't rest on laurels. But you guys, your production value is just aces. Like, you couldn't do it any better than what you guys are doing right now. So keep that shit up. I mean, there's no other way to put that. And then like, grow your audience together. You know.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know it would play. I know it plays. I'm sorry. I was just looking up to see how many subscribers Kenna had. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't stress. Just keep engaging with your audience. I would do a couple more lives if I were you guys, if you can, because that really does help. I mean, we're doing this, you know, kind of strategically. Like, we've been wanting to do this for a long time, but we've both done lives. I mean, you do it weekly, and we've done lives for a long time. So it's helped our followers get to know us a little bit better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest you guys do that a little bit more. It will only help you, you know, get your hours, your watch hours in, whatever. What else? There was one more thing I was thinking. I kind of lost my train of thought too. But
I'll tell you what isn't working on YouTube anymore, Kenna. In my opinion, you don't need to ask people to subscribe, and you don't need to be, especially in the beginning of videos. I've never seen one of your videos, so I do not know if you do that or you don't do that, but you don't need to. It's what?
I do it on every video.
I know you do. I know you
I
do.
have the graphic pops up.
And you can
We
stop.
may have done it once, and then
You can
felt
stop.
dirty.
You can stop. This is the thing about people, and so connecting with humans is the best strategy of all. And the way that you connect with humans is, first of all, you never ask for anything until you give them so much that they're thankful to give you something in return, whether that's a comment, whether that is that like, whether that is that subscribe. And they do that out of real joy, like real, like, oh my gosh, I just learned something. I like this creator. I really do. When you ask for subscribes, you ask for likes, you ask for all that stuff, you're kind of mixing the message. Like, what are you doing? Are you delivering value? Are you asking for something? Why are you asking for that? Number one, subscribers don't really matter. Even though I know we are going for CJ's 100,000, that's a big milestone. But in the scope of a YouTuber's life, the subscribers don't matter. I have how many subscribers?
260 and change.
Or something.
263,000 subscribers. But I don't necessarily
264, sorry.
Okay. I don't have necessarily more views on my videos.
No.
Right? So just because people subscribe doesn't mean that they're engaged. So my advice is to engage and learn and connect with your audience, and especially with the younger crowd, it's a little harder. You got to do shorter videos. You've got to be on different platforms.
Right.
I have an older audience, I think. No offense, my friends. But
Right.
I think my audience is a little bit older. If you're just younger, you need to be on TikTok. You need to be doing that.
So she's already on TikTok, but you got to decide what you're trying to do. Are you trying to, get income?
You can't do anything if you don't get your audience.
Right. But the TikTok audience is not going to go to YouTube.
No, that's not true.
Well,
that's not really true, CJ.
I haven't seen that translate to where
you're not the age of TikTok.
No, but so everybody who's doing well on TikTok based on YouTube, right? Or sorry, vice versa. Everybody who's doing well on YouTube because they did TikTok shit. So that means well is not meaning money. Well means clout. They've got their subscribers. So there's one cat that just got his 100,000 subscriber button, right? His play button. Mm-hmm. He even said when he was opening it up, I don't put a lot of effort in my YouTube. All he does is take his shorts from TikTok and puts them on YouTube as shorts. The people that are putting and growing off of short form videos on YouTube, so shorts, they're not making a high amount of money. And I got some numbers to back that up, and I'll show you when we talk or we'll get together. You may get your subscriber base and you may get a shit ton of views, but YouTube does not pay for short form videos. Okay. So what Ken is trying to do, she's trying to build her audience on TikTok, but it may not translate to YouTube. It could. Don't get me wrong. I don't know everything.
But it doesn't have to translate to TikTok or to YouTube. It needs to translate to Kenna.
But if she builds an audience off of short form videos on TikTok, quick, not very many of them will go to YouTube to watch a long form video.
Okay, so we are now into behind the scenes. So let me tell you this. It doesn't matter though, CJ. Like when somebody creates a freaking commercial and it's like a 90-second commercial, but you engage somebody enough and they like you enough, they're like, I am buying that product. That's what shorts do. I like that creator enough. I'm buying that product. I'm going to go over to Kenna's kitchen and I'm going to look at her longer form videos. Now, Kenna, I don't think a great strategy, in my opinion, is to put the same videos on YouTube as TikTok. I would definitely separate them out. I would do longer videos on Kenna's kitchen, shorter videos on TikTok. There are numbers now that people do not click through because there's no links, but they do find creators on other channels from TikTok. So because Kenna's so young, and It's really hard for me to say because I've never seen a video, so I don't really understand. But Kenna is that young, and she's going to be able to connect with millennials. Whoo, whoo, whoo.
But
Big
what you're
point.
saying is millennials don't have the attention span of someone that's
Yeah, they don't when they're with their friends in the middle of damn dinner looking at shit.
So
They do when they go home and they want to cook.
Hey, we don't have. So you guys are seeing the real shit. Like we don't always agree. Like
We're fighting.
She thinks she's right and she's completely wrong. But I will. I'm just kidding. When you come here, I will show you the stats. People that want short form videos do not like to watch long form.
I get it. I know.
So building an audience on TikTok is not going to translate to an audience on YouTube that is going to watch long form videos on YouTube. And I have the numbers. I can prove it to you when you come.
I get that. CJ, I understand that. I get that.
What you're saying is the opposite of what you're understanding.
No, because it's still that introduction. It's that commercial. It's that commercial.
Right,
so guess what happens when your commercial is watched over and over and over again? I mean, you do understand about how all the internet works. And it's this wild web. So then all of a sudden you're on YouTube. And suggested for you is Kenna's Kitchen in a long form video. You're like, wait a minute, Kenna's Kitchen. I remember that name. I think I liked something that she posted before. Oh, I'm going to watch it.
Only watching 60 seconds of her video.
I doubt it because they're there for a different purpose. But they've gone to YouTube. It's not a direct connect. Oh, I'm right about this. We're going to fight about this because I'm right about this. It's not a direct connect. It's not like the views that you get on YouTube are going to like flow over to Facebook. It's not like the views you get on TikTok. People are going to be clicking links to go. It's not the way it works. It's called brand recognition. It's called primal branding. It's getting in people's heads when they see you in different platforms in different ways they understand. And there's also all these tracking cookies that go on, which we could talk about for a million years, that go on the internets. You know, why do you think that you speak out loud in your house with Alexa and you say something, and next time you go on Google or Amazon, that shit pops up for you? Because there's all tracking cookies, and they know they know how you're going around the internet.
I get what you're saying, but I can actually prove that it does not translate. I can prove that TikTok and shorts do not translate to income on YouTube.
They don't translate to income, but income doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. She wants to grow her YouTube community to make income on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh my gosh. However, you first have to relate to people. Oh, we're fighting.
Oh, okay. How about how we do this?
This is good. This is like freaking Jerry Springer.
Kenna, sorry we dissed you. We love millennials. I hope they all watch our videos.
I didn't diss millennials.
No, I did.
They don't like me.
They don't watch long form videos usually. But I'm gonna do what I do with my wife out there. You're right, honey. Whatever you say is correct.
Are you sure you two are not brother and sister?
Oh, we gotta put that up. Look,
nice.
I've said this.
I'll put it up. I got it.
I've said this before.
I love it.
Are you too sure you're not brother and sister?
So I think
I've said this before because we have totally different views about things. And this is one of them because I feel like it doesn't matter. Like you're putting it up.
No, listen on this one. We're gonna agree to disagree right now because we're over 2 hours again. When you said we're only gonna go an hour tomorrow, lies. Anyway, we're gonna put that aside. We're gonna agree to disagree. Kenna, you keep doing you. You guys are doing great things. Sorry I called you a millennial, even though you are. But keep doing what you do. You guys, you're doing good. Do some live.
Some great things. I can't wait to go watch.
Yeah.
Kenna, Kenna, email me, Louise@thesaltedpepper.com. I will watch some of your videos and I will.
I do that. I do repurpose long form into shorts, or I'll even shoot shorts for the long form videos.
Because they have they're different purposes.
Look, can I finish? Woman? Dude. Anyway, I
put too much of this.
Yeah, there's something.
Put the wine on.
I put
anyway,
it's the devil.
You're the devil. Nice. I'm using shorts right now to gain subscribers just because I'm on a mission to hit that number. But the TikToks or the shorts that I use on my channel, they're not going to gain me any kind of income. They're gaining exposure. I agree with you on that, but you're not going to get income off it because most of those people are not going to watch your long form videos. That's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. Breathe. It's okay.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
You don't get that last word on me. You don't have to get the last word. Okay. Jeff, next question.
Okay.
We're almost out of questions.
Oh, it's killing her. Oh, look, it's killing her. Jeff, how you doing, buddy? You're going to get the brunt of this tonight, man. When we're off, dude, you're getting beat down. Yeah. This is for CJ.
Yeah, something.
He has to deal with me every night, every day.
All right, so let's go back to talk about being a creator. So, Louise, we'll start with you on this one.
Oh God!
In all of the careers that you've had, all 1,000 of them, how does this rank being a YouTube creator? Let's just say that we're talking about YouTube here, being a YouTube creator. How does it rank on a scale of like 1 to 10 in your favorite jobs that you've ever had, or the best careers that you've ever had?
10 plus 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 plus.
Yeah, that's all right. No, I'm just kidding.
I love everything about it. I get to do exactly what I love to do, which is create recipes and cook. Actually, I don't love creating recipes. I love cooking. So I get to cook. Then, after a while, get the recipe down. And I love it. Oh my gosh, my best job ever. Like I don't even know if dreams could come true. They came true twice for me. Once when I met Jeff and 3 years ago? Because I worked for 2 years.
4 years ago that we moved here.
Yeah, I know, but I worked for a year, maybe a year, without earning any money. So money is important, right? Because it keeps you going. But I worked for a year. I still loved every minute of this. So I don't care if I ever earned a dime, because honestly, I told Jeff when we moved here, you pay for everything. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not anymore. And so yeah, I really wouldn't care if I never made any money. This is my dream job, my dream life.
It's so much fun that you guys can do it full time and you're so happy about it. You are what I strive to be. I am not always happy in my full-time gig. I don't have
I'm not always happy in this.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but if I did YouTube for a full-time gig, that would be amazing for me, and I think that would be my best job because I would be running the show. I would be I don't say the boss of it, but I'd set the schedules, I'd set everything. I would be responsible for myself, whatever team I have for the videos. Yeah. But I love to cook, so cooking is something I love. I love to teach or coach. Teaching and cooking is something I love. So that would be amazing for me to do. I don't hate my current job. I'm not, one of those people that dread Mondays or whatever. My job has provided a lot for my lives, for my family. I don't have a full college education. I went, but I never finished up, but I still make a healthy wage for not being educated. Right. So,
hey, I'm going to interrupt here because I really feel there's something to be said about formal education, and there's also a lot to be said for practical education and for learning through the ranks and like community colleges. I mean, I was an RN. I went to community college. I did look into going to, a bigger college. I decided not to. I owned a company with 20 full-time employees, paid them full-time benefits, and education is good, but being driven is probably better, in my opinion. Anyway, okay. I feel like you were apologizing, and I just don't feel like you.
No, I wasn't apologizing. I was just kind of putting it in perspective, right? Like I didn't go the traditional route of getting a 4-year degree, getting a corporate job, whatever, right? I was, I went a different trajectory. So the corporate job that I have right now, it's provided for me and my family for years, right? So I don't hate it. I don't, dread it or whatever. I mean, there's times, just like anything else, rather be doing something else. But if I did this full time, I think that would be my favorite job, in life, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what
I know it would be, because you would learn so much more, because you would have the time to learn so much more. Like you would dig into the things that you want, that you creatively, because you really can't go into this if you're not creative. Like you're creative. I know when you get into your kitchen and nobody's looking and you're not filming something, you're like thinking about flavors and wanting to put something together that's absolutely delicious.
Right.
Like no matter whether that looks traditional or not traditional, like the absolute best cooks in the world are those people that just say, I feel like eating this today, but I have this, and this available in my fridge right now. We're rolling and we're making it. And I know you do that. I know you do that.
Yeah, it's just a normal weeknight dinner sometimes too, You have to be creative sometimes with what you're doing. And you do it on your Tasty Tuesdays when Jeff throws a bunch of stuff at you. You figure out what to make with just based on your knowledge. That's honestly what I love about watching like Chopped, on the Food Network.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit back and I'll watch it and I'll say, well, this is what I would do with all that crap. And I know it probably drives my wife up a wall, but I'm like, if I ever got this, I would do this, I would do that, right? So, going through the school of hard knocks, and put us where we're at today, and we're out.
Yep,
for sure.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
We're at the end of the questions.
All right.
CJ, we can't wait to see you on the 30th. I'm going to go ahead and.
I know. Let's do a number count.
See if we get
how many subscribers do you have right now? I gotta see if I gotta like call people and tell them to unsubscribe.
No, we got plenty of time to fit in there. We're at 98,675. So with my rough math, that puts us at 1,325.
Okay.
To get to there. So
comes the link in the comments to CJ page.
So
in all honesty, what Louise was saying is subscribers do not matter to us as far as like views wise go. Views is how we get our AdSense, our commission, or whatever. So you could have 5 subscribers, but if you get 5 million views on a video, you're doing well, right? The only reason the subscribers really matter to me right now is because I'm trying to hit a certain goal.
Yeah.
So when you get to 100,000, it's a huge goal, right? We went through the numbers the other day on Monday.
Yeah.
Out of 8 billion people in the world, only 360,000 have 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah. It's huge. So, it's a huge deal. And it changes the logarithm.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It does. So it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. We want to engage people, but when you're hitting that, it matters. So
it almost proves it almost like proves to YouTube that you're for not
You're
for real.
valid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're valid. You're gonna stick
And you're
around.
staying around. You're
That's
sticking
it. That
around.
was the other thing I was thinking about for Kenna. Stick with it. Okay. If this is something big you want to do, stick with it. Even when it's slow, it's monotonous, it's boring. People are giving you shit, whatever. Stick with it. If you stick with
give you
it,
shit, you've made it.
yeah, stick with it. Good things will happen, especially with what you guys are doing. You guys are doing great stuff. Stick with it, and good things will happen. So many people get on YouTube and see that it's really hard, and I hope that we've kind of shown you that in these last 2 videos. It's hard, but if you stick with it, good things will happen, and
They do.
and you're providing such a value to people of the world. All right, I can't even tell you how many good comments, emails, texts, whatever I get saying, "Oh my God, you helped me do this," or "Oh my God, you helped me do that." Everybody loved this. I looked like a pro when I did this for it, whatever, right? My family just adores what what I put on the plate because I used your recipe. That type of shit right there gets you so worked up and happy that it makes it all worth it. All the bullshit you got to do, all that. Sorry, I just became a sailor all of a sudden. Sorry, all the cussing.
All of it.
But all of that makes it worth it. So,
all of it.
Jeff, let's wrap this up, man. This is 2.5 hours again.
Yeah.
Part 3, I don't think there'll be a part 3. I think we got.
No, we do have part 3. It's December 30th.
December 30th.
That's what I was gonna say. God, can I finish a sentence?
Hello.
Good Lord. Anyway, no, seriously. Part 3 will be live on my channel. So whoever's on here, make sure you're subscribed.
Yeah,
hit
make
that
sure.
bell, all that
Drop
jazz.
the link again.
We'll be live on my channel, and then maybe a part 4 will be
I'm coming on YouTube.
I'm gonna cook and she's gonna tell me what to do. So like a tasty Wednesday, I don't know, whatever for me. So we're gonna have some fun with that. And guys, it just shows like we don't always agree. Did you put Charlie to 100K? Oh my God! Someone time out, Kenna. No Charlie. It's CJ for TJ for 100K.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
So what we talk about here, I hope we did kind of show you behind the scenes. And we don't always agree on shit. Over the years, we haven't agreed on everything. It just is what it is. But you don't agree with your best friends on everything either. It's just the way it is. It doesn't matter. We get a little loud. We're both voiceless people.
I've even messaged you and said, "Hey, can you take a little bit of constructive criticism?" And CJ will be like, "Nope, not today." I'm like, "All right, gotcha.
This is not a good day."
Yeah, like, hey, gotcha.
Tomorrow, we'll talk tomorrow. Today is not a good
exactly.
day.
Like but see, that's respect. Like it's respect because I think we both respect each other very much.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
We don't agree. We don't even have the same views on a lot of things, but
no.
I love you.
I love you,
brother.
Yeah, like a brother. Don't even get it twisted. I love Jeff like a brother too.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway,
all right. So we'll just be on the 30th. I think. Do we have something going on before that? We have the Q&A.
You got Q&A this Tuesday, and then
and I've got some videos to put out that I haven't even written recipes. I mean, I haven't written.
Got Christmas coming up.
So I know. Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, I'm tired. All right, so let's wrap it up. So drop CJ's link again. We are going to.
Please subscribe.
We're flying to California to see him hit this 100,000 subscribers. It's going to happen.
Which comes with a cannonball,
Cannonball.
Barbara Thurston says we need reminders sent out like Louise sends us. So Barbara, I'm thinking that maybe if you're talking about the videos on YouTube, you might not have like the notifications bell clicked on CJ's channel. So try that. But I also send emails.
You do emails. That's the thing. That's one of the goals for when we're getting the website together, like, because obviously you're a big help with that. When we're putting that together next year, we're going to start an email list. I mean, I got tons of emails just randomly because people reached out over the years.
But you can't use them. They have to actually opt in for legality.
And I have it on my site now where you can subscribe, but it's not optimized at all.
What email provider are you using for subscribing to emails?
Whatever one came with WordPress. Like, it's not scientific, I don't think.
Okay.
So, because I honestly haven't used it. So, what time Eastern on the 30th? 4 o'clock Eastern. We're gonna try to get going about 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's not going to be exact because obviously we got a lot of stuff going on, but that's the idea, is to start by about 1 o'clock my time in Southern California.
Yep. And he's gonna hit 100,000 at midnight.
At midnight. Can we do it earlier so the pool's not so cold?
Oh, we could do that. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, midnight.
We're going to hit it at 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Height of the sun.
That'd be fun. All right. Well, listen, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in part 2. I'm a little bit, I don't know, CJ. How are you going to feel about us fighting on video?
Oh, I don't care. I mean, the whole idea was to get behind the scenes of what we do, and you and I, confer quite a bit on things. So the behind the scenes is us not agreeing on something.
True.
I mean, it's okay. Like,
yeah, no, it's perfect.
Like anybody on this chat right now has probably a friend, and they don't always get along. They don't always agree. I have plenty of friends that I don't see eye to eye with certain things on. I mean, I have friends with them. So I think people can relate to that. I don't think it's a big deal.
I think it makes it real.
Yeah.
And really behind the scenes. All right. Well, as long as I didn't like piss anybody off. That's my big thing.
I don't think so.
I'm bossy. All right.
I can't wait till I'm trying to cook with you yelling at me the whole time.
Oh, absolutely not.
I might be walking out grabbing another beer at that point.
I'm not like that though.
Oh, I'm drinking the whole time, Jeff.
I'm not disrespectful. I'm not going to be in your way when you're doing your thing. I mean, unless you're totally going to ruin dinner. I mean, if you're totally
ruin it on purpose, I want to see your
you're totally ruining dinner, I'm going to step in. But if you're not, I'm not going to say a word. Like, I am not rude. Well, I'm not rude.
I can take it.
Loud. I'm just loud and opinionated and right.
And right, damn it.
Most of the time.
I was going to say I'm the opposite, but I'm right too.
Oh, he's always right.
I'm never right.
So. He's even right when he said that the can opener didn't get into that drawer because he put it there. I'm like, oh, so you washed the can opener, but the drawer just opened and the can opener jumped into the drawer.
Probably fell.
He says, well, maybe it happened if I had a lot of things in my hands.
It happens.
I don't care.
All right, guys, we're at 2.5 hours. Let's wrap it up, Jeff.
Yes. Right. Wrap it up.
All right, we're done.
We're done. Peace out.
I'm not
happy holidays, everybody. Tip your waitress on the way out.
Yep. See you.
Oh no! Subscribe to CJ's channel.
Subscribe, like, and
on your way out.
I'll post one more time.
One more time. So we can get to this 100,000, so I can go on my vacation and everything's good in the world.
All will be right.
We're still gonna come see you whether you hit
like
it or don't hit it.
A crazy lady,
Justin.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, CJ.
Bye,
love
guys.
you.